You guys getting hungry yet? Well, that hamburger is
Now for Lima, Will Kilgore, third baseman.
most of it.
Georgia State. That was a bit outside for a ball.
Yep, I'm on.
Okay.
I restarted the computer and messed with a couple settings and
Good deal.
I'm in.
Good deal.
It took me a while to figure it out.
So 1-0 count
I had
here,
to
Will
walk
Kilgore.
downstairs a couple times because I got frustrated.
Yeah,
Pretty good. Get it.
It is.
that one's gone. That back. Horn fouls for Will Kilgore.
Kilgore with the home run gets the
Home run
Locos
for the
1-0
third
lead.
spot.
And that one, you could tell just by the sound off the bat that one was going a long way, as we saw Miles right on the left just look back and watch it fly.
Miles didn't even make an attempt at that one. Quickly, the Lima Locos are up by score of 1-0 here in the first inning. Now coming up for Lima, Brett Murray, the left fielder for Creighton.
Everybody see that ball come down or in?
Look at where he's at.
It's still in the air.
See the player
Oh, way back there?
Lefty versus lefty down now.
Back by the shed?
The shed.
Now I think it's fouled out of play.
Right there.
Foul ball, please remember, if you come up with a foul ball, please return it to the shed behind home plate.
Murray went 1 for 3 yesterday with a walk.
For a piece of gum, right, Marty? We turned the ball for a piece of gum. Remember that? Remember those days?
Here comes Homer's 0-1 pitch. Now that's going to hit into right field and a single from Brett Murray. So after the home run given up by Hallmark, Brett Murray is on first base.
And so after 2 straight hits, a solo home run, and then a base hit there from Murray, going to have to see what he comes back with against Elytra.
Now coming up, as you mentioned, this is Nick Elstroff, the designated hitter from Ohio Northern. 1 man on.
And he's actually listed as a pitcher too, so allowing him to hit while he's not on the mound.
Hit in the field yesterday, so very versatile player. And he's going to be running in there easily. Is Murray. Swipes the base.
Yeah, Gaunt fumbled with that one a little bit behind the plate, and I don't think I heard anyone say the runner was going, so he didn't expect anyone to be running, and then he got up, saw the runner, tried to throw him out, but that one just a little off the bag.
This guy's looking a little sluggish early on in this ball game.
Well, I don't think most errors of this group. He just calls everything an error. Everything is an error.
1-0 count here.
Yep.
To Elstroff. That one's in there for a strike. Count's now evened up at 1-1. Brett Murray sitting over there at second base. Scoring position. Already 1-0 Locos here after a home run from Will Kilgore. Xenia came into this game 2-0. Locos 0-1. Now that's a little low for a ball. Count is now 2-1 to Elstroff.
No, not today. No. Did anybody announce that you're filling in Todd? No.
We don't want them to think you're going to be girls.
Steps back in. Here comes Hallmark's pitch.
Well.
That was low as well, so Hallmark in a little bit of trouble here. Up 3-1 against Nick Elstroff.
How are you?
Oh, mine's going to be it.
Scouts going to be unfamiliar position. Yesterday they were behind, but not till about the 4th inning was that home run given up by Will Cruz. And a 3-1 pitch by Hallmark. That one's in there for a strike. It looks like Elstroff is already on his way to first base. Thought he's going to get the walk. And nothing doing, and the count is now full. Hallmark trying to get out of the inning.
When should they be there? Ryan, does Carlos work?
What's this guy's name? Nick
That's a
Elko.
good question. I don't have the answer to.
And we're up toss time. Payoff pitch incoming for Hallmark in a tough spot here.
So do it. Make sure that
Top of the fifth.
When should I tell them?
Probably bottom of the fourth.
While we're doing it, while we're
3-2
doing
count
two
for Ellis
separate
Roth. Here comes the payoff pitch. That one's low, and Hallmark walks the batter, so runners now on first and second. Land.
Yeah, Hallmark hasn't looked great since that home run from Kilgore. He gave up the hit to Murray, and then he worked his way back to get to 2 strikes against Ellsworth, and then threw one outside of the strike zone for the walk. So not great so far from Hallmark. Going to have to see if he can rally away, keep any more runs from crossing the plate.
Yeah, it seems like the Scouts have just lost a little bit of confidence after that big bomb was given up. Here comes the pitch. That one's a little bit high. Coming up now for the Locals will be Cole Gordon from Mississippi State. Multiple players on this team from Miss State. 1-0 count. Runners on first and second. Seth Hallmark trying to work out of this first inning. And here comes his pitch. That one's inside. Count is now 2-0. Hallmark in a little bit of trouble again.
I got 2 balls.
2
Bottom of the ninth, 9 runs on base with 2 outs. Zach Kozar.
Hallmark looks at the batter. Gets his pitch from David Gaunt behind the plate. Here comes the throw. That nicks him. Now the bases are going to be chalked after Cole Gordon is hit by a pitch.
So now that'll bring out a little meeting between him and catcher Dave Gaunt. And you think if this keeps going, might have to see assistant coach Taylor Hargrove come out and have a little talk with Seth as well.
Yeah, dangerous spot. Lance, it's hard to believe that. It was quick, very quick 2 outs to start this inning for the Scouts. 6-3 putout from Austin Orr, and then a strikeout to Carragher. Now it looks like this inning was going to be done, and then Will Kilgore with that monster shot over the left field wall, and it's been all Locals ever since. Hallmark still just needs 1 out, though. Billy Lipari comes up, the catcher. That one's low for a ball. It seems like Hallmark's just kind of missing his spots. Maybe a little shaken. And here comes his 1-0 pitch. Winds and throws. Now it's going to be chopped over to short. Austin Orr picks it up. Throws to Christian Binger at second. And Hallmark would avoid more trouble. But after 1, the Lima Locos lead the Xenia Scouts by a score of 1-0. After that home run given up to Will Kilgore.
Yeah, and all things considered, very good thing that there's just the 1 run given up to Kilgore after allowing Murray to get on with a hit, walking Ellsworth, and then hitting Gordon with a pitch. So could have been a whole lot worse, as they will then leave 3 runners on base, did the Locos.
Yes, they did. You got to think they might look back to that bottom of the first inning and say, hey, we could have got a few more runs in. And now it's time for the Scouts to get their bats going after really struggling in that first inning. Lance, what is the side for the Scouts?
For the Scouts, it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters, and David Gaunt, the catcher, will be hitting. Then Wyatt Hogan following him, the first baseman, and then Jonathan Bravo, the right fielder, will be hitting third in this top half of the second inning.
And David Gaunt had a fantastic day yesterday. He went 2 for 4, a couple RBI. Also had a walk on the game, had a double that went all the way up against the wall in Flat Rock. Needed a little more wind, and I think it might have pushed it out.
Yeah, definitely had a couple that were out towards deep parts of the outfield. He went opposite way with one of them, but just died because, like you mentioned, wind wasn't blowing quite hard enough. So always has a chance to do something good. Had 16 home runs this past season at Washburn during his collegiate season. So definitely has the potential to put one out anytime he steps up to the plate.
Garrett Peak made quick work of the Scouts in that first inning. Here he starts again. That one's a little outside for a ball. Counts now 1-0 to Gaunt. Gaunt, a catcher from Washburn University. Here comes the pitch. Counts now 2-0. Garrett Peak working quickly here. Reminiscent of Ben Aldridge that we saw the other night. And here comes the 2-0. And that hits him. No, just misses him. Count is now 3-0. Heard a bit of a thud.
Yeah, I heard it hit
I
something.
think it might have hit the umpire. Quickly, 3-0. Garrett Peak having some control issues here. And quickly, 4 pitches and a walk to start off the inning for for David Gaunt. Good eye from David. The catcher from Washburn.
Coming out
He's going to get on first base now.
Number 34.
In all fairness, I wouldn't want to pitch to him either.
I wouldn't either. He's been tearing it up recently. And that's going to bring up Wyatt Hogan. He's getting his first start at first base today. Lincoln Reed got the first 2 starts of the season from Hendricks College. Here comes the pitch. Down to the inside corner for a strike, and Garrett Peak regaining his form a little bit after 4 straight balls. David Gaunt.
Yeah, and the last at bat to Gaunt didn't seem close to the strike zone at all, and then comes back with the first pitch straight to Hogan.
Here comes a 1-0 pitch. That one's fouled out. The count is now 0-2 for Wyatt Hogan. Got 1 strikeout in the first inning to Kyle Carnahan. Here in the top of the second, no outs, runner on first. Scouts down 1-0. Pickoff attempt and just catching it. It is Cole Gordon. What a play. Extending that glove on his left hand all the way. Make sure he didn't get into the Scouts dugout. That would advance Gaunt to second. Here comes the pitch to Hogan, and they got him looking. Wyatt Hogan strikes out without a fight, and he's going to go back to the bench, and that's going to bring out Jonathan Bravo.
Jonathan will be our beer batter for the night.
Jonathan going to start in right field tonight.
Jonathan strikes out. There will be $1 off of beers for the rest of the inning.
From Texas Wesleyan University. That was a little low for a ball, so 1-0 count to Bravo. Sitting over there at first is David Gaunt. 1 out here from Simmons Field as Old Glory is waving in the background. Right around that 400-foot mark in center field above the eye. Another pickoff attempt to Gaunt. Back there safely. Garrett Peak has a pretty fluid pickoff attempt. That's the speed to it.
Final on the Reds.
Final on the Reds. Final on the Reds.
They go down.
They lost 9 seconds.
Count is 0-1. Another pickoff attempt.
In the bullpen.
Gaunt decided to keep his uniform clean, not sliding there. Got back in time. Sure his host families at home be appreciative of that.
Yeah, they had 7 free.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And way late on that one is Bravo. Excuse me, the count is now 1-1. Had that ball earlier, so the count is now evened up. Bravo was caught way behind on that one. There's the pitch, and Gaunt's going. And he is safe. A feet first slide into second base. And Gaunt steals to get into scoring position.
And unlike most catchers, David Gaunt, like you just saw with the steal, has a little bit of wheels. He can play outfield as well. He started off yesterday in right field. So unlike most catchers, David Gaunt has a little bit of speed.
You have to wonder now if a 2-1 count, does Jonathan Bravo try to lay a bunt down here, try to sack David Gaunt to third base. He has 1 strike to work with. Peak winds and delivers. That one's low. Count's now 3-1. 1 out here in the top of the second. Scouts down 1-0.
Call a balk.
They're going to call a balk. Wow, something you do not see every day, ladies and gentlemen. David Gaunt is going to stroll over to third base on a balk. So 3-1 count for runner on third. In there for a strike. Garrett Peak hits the outside corner, and now the count is full. David Gaunt sitting over the third. He walked, stole, and then got balked to third. Jonathan Bravo at the plate. And he fouls that one backwards. With a little inside. Got a tip of that one.
Yeah.
3-2 count. Here comes the payoff. And that one is fouled as well to the left side. Past that third base.
How do you get down to third? Hot pitch? Ball. Oh, ball. I missed that.
1 out here in the top of the second. Scouts down 1-0. And here comes the payoff. That one's going to be hit towards third. Fair. Jonathan Bravo scores a run and is going to take two. And that will be a stand-up double. Jonathan Bravo has tied this game up.
So as disappointing as the bottom half of the first inning was, Scouts turn around and get a run on the board to start off the second inning. Couldn't have started any better with the walk from Gaunt. He steals second, advances to third on a balk, and then a nice hit right down the left field line was Jonathan Bravo. So great chance for the RBI, and he took it.
Levi Gilcrease coming into the game, starting center fielder. First pitch low for a ball. Gilcrease came off the bench yesterday, scored a run. Coach Bocage using good work of his depth in that one over Lake Erie. Bravo on second. Pete clicks him off. That one's in there for a strike. Count is now even at 1-1 to the center fielder from Baylor University. Remember, you can check out our website, xeniascouts.com, and our rosters page for background information on all of these players. And that one's in the dirt, and Bravo's going in there easily. And a wild pitch is going to send Bravo to third base. So some mistakes have led the Scouts to get into good scoring position. We saw that balk earlier. I said David got to third. He also had a steal to get him to second, and now a wild pitch. It's Jonathan Bravo to third. Now it's going to be followed back. The count is now 2-2. Levi Gilcrease.
What's the count, Tommy?
2-2.
Still one out, 1-1 here in the top of the second inning. Live from Lima, Ohio. Here comes the pitch. And he gets him swinging. Gilcrease goes down. It's going to be a third strikeout of the day for Pete. That's going to bring up Austin Orr, the shortstop. First pitch. Low for a ball.
So yesterday we saw Austin Orr get a hit in the, I think, the ninth inning, let off the rally that eventually put 3 runs on the board. So see if he can keep this going with 2 outs here in the top half of the second.
All right, Lance, also 1-for-2 last night. Was also walked and hit by a pitch. That one's in there for a strike. So he got on 3 out of 4 times. It only gets 1 hit on the night. 1-1 count, 2 outs here. At the top of the second inning, tie game. Jonathan Bravo lurks over there at third base. Pete gets his pitch and throws inside for a ball.
And they already saw Bravo get over to third on a wild pitch. So we see any other things like that happen over by the plate, Bravo could definitely try and get home and get the Scouts in the lead.
Here comes the pitch. Now it's going to be hit over towards second base. Should be easy work, and Cole Gordon will get it. That will end the inning, but not before the Scouts tie it back up. After 2 innings, after the top of the second inning, is 1 Locos, 1 Scouts, and we're going to the bottom of the second.
So, yeah, it was great work from the Scouts to come back and get a run on the board of their own, not letting themselves, just kind of feel bad about themselves, don't want to get too down, especially early on in the ballgame, because then there's not much of a chance you can come back and get in the lead at all. So, good job tying up the game in the top part of the second.
And Lance, what's the side coming up for the Locos?
For the Locos, it'll be the number 8 hitter as Terry drops his phone for the 17th time today. It'll be their right fielder, Henry Rowling, then Trey Logan, their second baseman, then back to the top of the lineup with Tyler Beckwith, their shortstop.
Beckwith went to shortstop on a ground on that first of that. Henry Rowling did not play yesterday in that game against Grand Lake. And Trey Logan went 0 for 2. 1-1 your score. The bottom of the first inning, Will Kilgore hit a monster shot to left field for the homer to give Locos early run in the game. They would load the bases. Seth Hallmark on the mound tonight for the Scouts. He walked a batter and hit a batter. And after giving up a single earlier to Brett Murray, had loaded bases but was able to get out of it after the last inning. Scouts were able to tie it up. David Gaunt was able to score after he originally walked, stole, balked, and then finally was able to score on a RBI double for Jonathan Bravo, his first extra base hit of the season.
We've only seen a couple extra base hits this whole season so far in these first few games.
Now we saw Gaunt get a few. Bravo got one there or had one in the first game.
Leading off for the Locos, number 22, right fielder from Georgia, Henry Wall.
And now coming up is Henry Rawlings from Georgia University, one of the few Bulldogs on this Lima squad. Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be hit towards second. Bigger makes the diving play, throws to first. Safe. He is not going to be able to throw him out in time. Bigger made a great play to dive, but did not have enough oomph on that throw to first. And it's going to be a single for Henry Rawlings.
Yeah, that one he had to range over to his left, and he wasn't able to get to that one quite in time. He had a nice play to get the stop, but like you said, just didn't have enough on the throw to get Rawlings over there first.
So one on here in the bottom of the second. 1-1 your score. Going to the plate now is Trey Logan, the second baseman. He's going to show the bunt. It's in the dirt, and Gaunt will not be able to get to it in time. And now on second on a wild pitch will be Henry Rawlings.
You want a hot dog? Brat, what do you want?
So I get some more offense for Trey Logan
Hot dog with mustard. Okay.
at the plate. First pitch was a ball. Let's pull back his bunt. See if he tries to bunt him again, this time towards third. Seth Hallmark on the mound for the Scouts. That's the pitch. He is going to try to bunt, and it's hit towards third and foul. Even up the count at 1-1 to Trey Logan. Second baseman, again, another Bulldog. Back-to-back Bulldogs to end the lineup for the Lima Locos team.
Yeah, 3 hits.
Also have some players from Mississippi State, so a lot of SEC representation for the orange and white of the Lima Locos. 1-1 count here for Trey Logan. Comes the pitch, and he gets him trying to check, but went around for a strike. And a little bit of confusion, was clearly who went around.
That's absolutely right. That wasn't even close.
Don't know why it took so long for the ump to make that decision, as he was almost all the way with his body position towards third on that pull-up attempt. It counts now 1-2, and he gets a nick of that one, and it's going to be fouled backwards.
We were talking about the other day, they're probably going to start, extending out those
No outs here in the bottom of the second. Runner on second in scoring position. Tie ball game between the Scouts and the Lima Locos. Scouts tied up here in the top of the second. Seth Hallmark from Tarleton State University on the mound. One of multiple Texas players on this on the Scouts team, and he gets them swinging. And that's going to sit Logan. And that's going to be the second strikeout of the game for Hallmark. Both of them got him swinging. We're going to go back to the top of the lineup. Tyler Beckwith from Richmond University for the Locos steps back. We got a lefty-righty battle here. Beckwith grounded to short last time, but it took Hallmark for about 7 or 8 pitches. That one's in there for a strike. Count's now 0-1. Henry Rawlings over there on second. He singled, start the inning, and he got to second on a wild pitch. David Gaunt just couldn't corral it from the dirt.
So he's already in last place. He's early and dead last.
He's not going to be around for the weekend. Oh, this is a weekend.
Since the weekend. He made the cut.
Oh, he made the cut.
0-1 count. Because 0-1 pitch. That one's foul. Count's now 0-2.
He was last, I think, 5 holes into his round today. Was he? Yeah. He's way down there now. He's got some Gatorade. Yeah, it is. Okay.
So is that next inning or this inning?
We're not here in the bottom of the second inning. Thank you for listening to some great leagues, summer collegiate league action. Scouts coming into this game 2-0 as the ref calls time. Ump.
Again, our busy battlers, Michael Sheridan.
Pause the game for a second, and now we're going to get resumed. Hallmark still on the mound, the lefty. Going against the righty, Kyler Beckwith. Comes the pitch. Now it's hit towards left field, and that's going to score a runner. Miles Wright races back to the wall, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Tyler. And now your score is 2-1 Locos.
And he had a great piece of hitting right there. Did Beckwith hit that one down towards left field, and Miles Wright was playing a little bit too much to his left, so had to race over to get that. Didn't even have a chance to catch that one. So great piece of hitting there from Beckwith to put the Locos back in the lead.
So run here in the bottom second for Lima. Runner on second as Mitch Carriger steps up to the plate. Lefty battle here. Here comes the first pitch, a bunt attempt. That one's going to be foul backwards. Counts now 0-1. Trying to sack Beckwith over to third. And his first at bat, Mitch Carriger struck out Carriger from Maryville University. Says Hallmark trying to get out of this second inning.
You know, if it's past the 10 rounds, it's a crapshoot.
And here comes the pitch, and that one is going to be hit fair down the right field line. And running towards second, it'll be Carriger back to RBI for the Locos. Makes the score 3-1.
Third baseman from Georgia State, number 8, Will Kilgore.
So Will Kilgore coming out to plate.
So right now, just unfortunate for the Scouts. They give up 2 doubles in a row and leads to 2 more runs. And now they're going to go out there and talk with Seth Hallmark. Don't see anyone warming up in the bullpen quite yet, so might see someone getting up soon, as it looks like Zach Wiley, the backup catcher, is going to walk over the bullpen. So we'll see someone warming up soon. So leash starting to get very, very much shorter for Seth Hallmark.
Lance, who do you think will be some prospective pitchers that'll be going to the pen?
Well, for today, I think it'll be between Thomas Wanning, Ben Aldridge, and Nick Street. Nick Street hasn't pitched since the exhibition game. He only had the 1/3 of an inning pitched, so didn't throw too well. But, of course, he, like we've mentioned many times, coming off of labrum surgery, so that was his first live ball action in more than a year, as it looks like Wanning is going to be heading over to the bullpen right now. So it'll be between those 3 guys. Aldridge, we saw come in on Thursday, as did Wanning. Aldridge pitched 3 innings, had 5 strikeouts, ended up doing very well. Wanning came in only through the 1 inning in the 6th inning, but had walked the first couple guys and then found a way to get out of the jam, didn't allow any runs to score. So these guys haven't pitched since Thursday, so it'll be good to see them get some more action.
Now a slugger from Georgia State back in the box. Will Kilgore, homer in the first inning, runner on second. Looks like he faked a bunt, and that ball's in the dirt. Gone quickly, recovers. Mitch Carriger over there at second, definitely thinking about stealing, Lance.
And the interesting part to me is that they'd have Kilgore, who hit a home run his last time up, show bunt. So shows how flexible their guys are.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming, Lance. It took me for surprise, but it took the hot corners of the Scouts for surprise as well. 1-0 count. Now it's in there for a strike. Evens it up against Kilgore. Locos opening it up a little bit here in the bottom of the second inning, up 3-1 over the Scouts. Scouts coming off those 2 big wins over the Lake Erie Monarchs last 2 days.
Ice cold Unipole. You have 3-finger rounds, okay? What was his middle name?
Hallmark takes his time, gets his pitch, and throws, and gets Kilgore swinging. Count is now 1-2.
1876.
1 strike away from putting Kilgore down.
That would definitely be a good sign if Hallmark is able to get Kilgore to strike out, of course, after homering in his first at-bat.
Hallmark does have 2 strikeouts on the day.
Somewhere in Indiana.
2 of his 4 outs so far. That one is going to be nicked back towards the backstop. Count remains 1-2. And sitting over there on deck is Brett Murray, who singled in the first inning, was able to steal and get his way over towards third. Counts 1-2. That was a low for a ball, evens it up at 2-2.
Hey, you got to drink off the ground now.
Hallmark still in a precarious spot for runner in scoring position. And Mitch Carragher, who doubled home Tyler Beckwith. RBI doubles for both Carragher and Tyler Beckwith this inning.
Is that your cane there, Marty? You want to grab that off my charger?
And he gets him swinging. And that's going to sit down Kilgore.
Second out of the inning brings up number 13, the left fielder, Brett Murray.
That was a big strikeout there, Lance.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. I mentioned that it'd be huge for Hallmark to come back and get Kilgore with a strikeout, and that's exactly what we did. So have to see if that'll give him some momentum going forward here in the second inning.
Brett Murray coming to the plate. Another lefty. Hallmark delivers. That one's high for a ball, but now 3 strikes apiece for both these pitchers today. Hallmark has 3, as does Garrett Peak. But a 3-1 score for the Locos. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Runner on second base is Mitch Carragher. Doubled in a run earlier of Tyler Beckwith, who also doubled in a run of Henry Rawling. That one is at the backstop as it gets past David Gaunt, but no movement. Carragher stays over there at second. Sun's shining brightly in left field here in Lima. 7:05 first pitch. 2-0 count here. And delivers inside, and 3 straight balls to Brett Murray. He's trying to get on for a second time this ball game. Runner on second. Hallmark takes his time. Winds and throws. And that one's high for a ball. So another walk for the Locos. That's the second of the day for Seth Hallmark. And now runners are on first and second. The Scouts are not out of it yet. And who's coming out in first now, Lance?
Now it'll be Nick Eltzroth, their designated hitter.
Eltzroth walked his first time up. So he'll get to second before the end of the inning. DH from ONU.
I think what they did is they messed up on point streak.
They messed up on point streak, and they said it was 7-2. I tried to tweet you last night to see.
Yesterday, Eltzroth went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He had a great game against the Mariners. Scored the only 2 runs of the game for the Locos as that first person goes for a strike on the outside corner, much to the disapproval of the local faithful here in attendance. Counts now 0-1. Runners on first and second here. Seth Hallmark winds and delivers. That's a ball outside. Counts now 1-1.
Bring me another rod if you want. Come on, buy me another one.
At least 1-1.
Because 1-1 pitch.
2-1.
And a little high from Hallmark. Grimaces after that one. He thought he got that one in the strike zone. The count is now 2-1.
I forgot was doing for a second. I looked over and I clicked the wrong button. I knew it was a count.
2-1 pitch. That one's outside. It's 1. Now 3-1. You have to remember last time Hallmark walked Brett Murray, this previous batter, does not want to load the bases. Bases were loaded on the first inning before the Scouts were able to get out of it. A grounder towards Osnora at short. Hallmark would not want to get in that situation again here against Eltroff. Here comes the pitch. And they're calling a ball 4. Just misses the outside corner. And that's going to be 2 straight walks from Hallmark. His 3rd walk of the game.
It's definitely not a very good situation here for Hallmark, as this is the 2nd straight inning that the Locos have loaded up the bases. Last time they were able to get away with minimal damage. This time they might not be so lucky.
3 walks through 1 2/3 inning here for Hallmark. Also has 3 strikeouts. Scouts desperately looking for an out here to get out of the danger. Here comes the pitch, and that one's hit high in the sky towards the left foul line, and it's going to get out of play. Miles Wright and Kyle Carnahan race over there. They can't get there in time. Count is now 0-1 to Cole Gordon, the first baseman for Mississippi State. He was hit by a pitch, and his first at bat. A tall presence is Gordon. Stands at 6 feet 6 inches tall. Here comes the pitch. That was low in the dirt. Remember, over at third is Mitch Carragher. If the ball gets to the backside, he's going to be trying to swipe home. 3-1 is your score here in the bottom of the 2nd. Lima's lead the Xenia Scouts. Locos with a couple RBI doubles here to get the lead in the bottom of the 2nd. Here comes the pitch. That one is going to be fouled backwards. Count is now 1-2. Hallmark 1 strike away from getting out of danger yet again. Gordon steps back in. 1-2 count for this lefty battle. Raises the knee, throws, and gets him swinging. And that's going to do it. And after yet again loading the bases, as Scouts avoid some danger, but not before some damage was done, as the Scouts get 2 runs on 2 RBI doubles here in the bottom of the 2nd. That's going to lead us to the 3rd inning of play with a score: Lima Locos 3 and Xenia Scouts 1.
And it was a good thing for the Scouts that Seth Hallmark was able to work himself out of that jam. So 2 straight innings that the Locos have loaded up the bases, but they've only got 3 out of those possible runs in. So all things considered, for the 2nd straight inning, minimal damage done when you take everything into consideration.
Yeah, already 6 stranded for Lima. Only 2 innings through this contest. You know, they're going to be kicking themselves in the cleats for that. If later on in the game it's a really close contest, you're going to be thinking, man, what could have happened in those first 2 innings?
Kick yourself in the cleats?
It's like boots, Lance, but except for they're wearing cleats out there.
I've never heard the expression kick yourself in the boots.
All right, ready, go.
So where are you going with that?
That is one, Lance.
Let's have some music. Well, that's musical too.
Yes. Going to the 3rd inning of play here. Lance, who's coming up for the Scouts?
For the Scouts, it'll be led off by number 9 hitter Miles Wright. Then it'll be back up to the top of the order in second baseman Christian Binger and designated hitter Kevin Merrill.
Miles Wright had a good game yesterday. Was able to score a run. Miles didn't start the first game of the year against the Monarchs, but we saw him in center yesterday, and we've seen him so far in left. Coach Bellicate still moving his players around, finding what he thinks is going to be the best fit for the Scouts team for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, because in the start of the year, we had Christian Binger out in right and Bravo at second. Since they've decided to flip that around.
Yeah, we've had Gilcrease out there in right field sometimes, so still moving things around. It's Bubba Cates. Miles Wright steps to the plate. Here comes the first pitch and shows that bunt. Miles Wright is famous for trying to get on bunting. He did so yesterday. Got that bunt single. He's got blazing speed, and here comes the 0-1 pitch from Peak. He's going to foul that one off. Quickly down 0-2 is Miles Wright.
Which one's the best? Two. He's pretty good at both. Yeah. Fifth and the same goes.
As now Nick Street appears to be loosening up over towards the Scouts dugout.
Goes 0-2 and gets some swing and quickly 3 pitches and 3 strikes to Miles Wright, and that's going to send him packing back towards the dugout. Scouts already with 1 out here in the top of the third, down 3-1.
And out of the first 9 that Peak has faced, 4 of them have been fanned, with the only one that was looking was Wyatt Hogan.
So dominating so far is Garrett Peak. He's given up 1 run. And coming up to the plate now for the Scouts to be Christian Binger at the start of the lineup. Binger flew out to third base in his first at bat. And now it's a 2-1 count after that strike on the outside corner. Binger being more patient in this at bat than he was the first. 2-1 pitch. That one's outside for a ball. 3-1. Good eye from Binger. Not chasing at the outside gas. Pitch. And he got that corner. The count is now full. Christian Binger had a great year at Southwest Baptist University. Had over 370. Here's the pitch. And he got him looking. Christian Binger thought it was going to be a walk. Thought it was low. But no, says the umpire. And Binger's going to be sat down looking.
There's a reason he thought it was low. Because it was low.
And that's going to be 5 strikeouts now. I think you're right, Lance. That one looked like it was lower than what he's been calling, but that's going to send Binger down, and 2 out now for the Scouts. 2 strikeouts here for Garrett Peak. And then here comes the 1-0. And misses again. Counts out 2-0.
He goes to what? Ohio Wesleyan?
And here comes the pitch. And Kevin Miller hits it back towards the pitch, and that's going to dive. And that was thrown into right field. Kevin Miller, the speedster, is going to easily get to second on the error. The error is going to go against Garrett Peak.
And the way you saw Kevin running out of the box, you knew he was going to get to first. After that slow roller, you knew he was going to get to first. But after they threw it away, another chance for him to get another bag as he gets to second easily. Might have been able to steal second anyway with his blazing speed, but he'll take a free base when he can get it.
We rode in the van with Kevin earlier, and he had a 4.440 time. Also ran a 10.6 100-meter dash in high school.
In his only year doing track.
Unbelievable speed over there at second base for the Scouts as Kyle Carnahan is up. Third baseman struck out last time. That one's outside.
2-0.
Count is now 2-0. Scouts down 3-1, but a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs in the top of the third. They really used some run support from Kyle Carnahan. Peak looks off his first pitch and then gets him on the one he liked. Count is now 2-1. Carnahan sitting there looking at that strike.
My team was okay. 4-person team. Oh, it's a team. It was scramble.
Righty battle here.
The one dude we picked up
throws.
was golf.
That one's low. Good eye from Carnahan. Count is now 3-1.
We shot 12 under.
Coming up next for the Scouts will be Wyatt Hogan, who struck out the last time. He was up one of 5 Scouts to strike out in this game.
He shoots like 70.
Excuse me, correction. Thank you, Lance. David Gaunt will go next after that ball. David Gaunt's going to be off now. Wyatt Hogan is now on deck. With runners on first and second. Thinking a little bit ahead of myself.
Just a little. But that is going to be the second walk so far issued from Peak. He walked Gaunt his first time out back in the second.
The runners on first and second. Here's pitch to Gaunt. Got him swinging. Count is now 0-1. Gaunt walked his last time up. Stole bases was balked to third before he was hit home from Jonathan Bravo. An RBI double. Scouts down here 3-1 here in the top of the third from Simmons Field in Lima, Ohio. Next pitch. And he checks his swing. Count is now 1-1.
These fans are reacting to every single close strike call.
Yeah, very dedicated faithful here in Lima. We got a pretty good showing for the opening home game of the season. Probably here to see the new lights and dugouts. And that one's going to be hit towards left field. And that is out of here. David Gaunt is gone as he hits it over that left field fence. That one might have hit the light pole, Lance. Really put a lightning bolt into that dinger.
With David Gaunt, we knew it was just a matter of time that he'd find a way to get a home run. Mentioned he had 16 this past season at Washburn during this college season, and he got every piece of that one for a 3-run homer. Puts the Scouts back on top, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Couldn't have gone any better for the Scouts right there. Lance White Hogan's up. Ball's in the dirt for a ball. Going back to David Gaunt. You mentioned, Lance, we've seen him show his power. And so his first 2 games, he has 16 home runs on the season at Washburn University. That one low too. Count is now 2-0. And it was only a matter of time before he was able to knock one out of the park here for the Scouts.
And I think he told us that he's another 15 or 16 home runs during his next season from breaking the school's home runs record.
Which he is very capable of doing, which we saw right there. And it looks like Coach Ernberger is going to meet out Garrett Peak on the mound.
And so now for the Scouts, I think we would expect that Seth Hallmark will come back out there, but hasn't been throwing that well in the first couple innings, but he does have the lead right now. So we'll see if we're going to see some more action out there in the pen. Those guys out there stretching. Don't know if anyone's throwing right now, but we'll have to see what happens when we get down to the bottom of the third.
Yeah, our view's a little bit obstructive over towards the bullpen for the Scouts. But what a jolt of a hit from David Gaunt. Brings the Scouts their first lead of the game here in the top of the third. 2 outs. The 4-3 is your score. Here's the pitch to Hogan. Gets the outside corner on that one. First strike of the at-bat for Garrett Peak. Count is now 2-1. Last time he got Hogan swinging for the strikeout.
You mean not swinging?
And that one's going to go foul.
Not by much. Not by much.
Going to send Hogan back to the plate.
It's okay, Terry. There's a lot going on.
Count is 2-2.
It's all about the TV money.
Yep.
And a 2-2 pitch for Hogan. And he's going to get him swinging and a drop ball, and he's going to get him out at first base, but not before the damage is done. And David Gaunt, a 3-run jackhammer, puts the Scouts back on top. And Lance, it looks like Scouts are feeling a little dejected earlier, a little sluggish after giving up those 2 runs, but we mentioned it. 6 runners already left on for Locos, and now the Scouts made them pay that last inning.
Yeah, it's exactly right. You mentioned the leaving guys on. That's exactly what happened in the first 2 innings for the Locos. They got some runs across, but not as much as they would want. Of course, you'd want to score every single guy that gets on base. So now we're going to have Seth Hallmark coming back out for his 3rd inning of work. Hasn't done too well so far. He started off very strong. He got the first 2 guys in the opening inning to go down. But after that, it was the solo home run from Kilgore, and then a hit from Murray, a walk from Ellisroth, and hitting Gordon, and then was finally able to get Lepardi to ground out to end that inning. So he was able to minimize the damage in the first inning. So now hopefully he's got his stuff going, and he'll be able to come back in this third inning strong.
And Lance, who we have coming up on the side for the Locos?
For the Locos, it will be the guy I just mentioned. I think it'll be led off by Kilgore, then Brett Murray, then Nick Ellisroth to lead off this third inning.
And Hallmark is doing very well in this game. In some respects, he's got 4 strikeouts, but just has given up 3 runs. And Billy Lepardi is going to be up for Lima.
I was looking at the wrong part of my lineup.
It's all right, Lance. Happens to the best of us.
Who hits it?
For us?
Yeah.
Will Kilgore.
And here comes Hallmark's pitch. Now it's a little low for a ball. Count is now 1-0 to Billy Lepardi. Catcher from Evansville University.
Yeah.
Grounded out to short and Austin Orr last time. Get some swinging at that one. Low pitch that Lepardi chases. Count is now 1-1.
I think we said that last year. Last year was early. I don't know about this.
1-1 pitch.
Halfway through, he started looping up, feeling pretty good.
Last year's team, they first day and center fetch.
Count is now 2-1.
We were 10-10, and then I think we went on 10 straight.
I think so.
It wasn't quite that. But
It was something like that. It was something along those lines.
Yeah.
they
And over
went-
500
And a 2-1 pitch. That one's hit fouled towards the left side of the field.
17 out of 20.
Count is now going to be 2-2. We're here in the bottom of the third inning. The Scouts are up by a score of 4-3 after a 3-run bomb by David Gaunt in the top of this inning. And I'm just going to take time again. It's like the party just his hair there.
Yeah, that was really important.
So count is 2-2. Hallmark trying to get his first batter of the inning. Now one's foul to the left side, so still 2-2 here for Billy Lepardi. Hallmark trying to get his 5th strikeout of the ball game. And he does get some swinging and sends down Lepardi. So Seth Hallmark sits down the first batter of the side for the Locos here in the bottom of the third.
That'll be the second straight strikeout.
That's going to bring up Henry Rawling. Henry got on with a single in his first at bat. That one's in there for a strike. That one's now 0-1 for Rawling. Winds and delivers. That one's going to be tipped back towards the fence. Bounces over for a fan to grab. And quickly now, Henry Rawling is down 0-2.
Split second.
Right fielder from Georgia trying to extend his day at the plate. Another timeout from the ref. Umpire taking a lot of breaks. So 2. Nasty curve on that one, but misses inside. Count is now 1-2 for Hallmark.
He gets just a little break on that one, and that gets the inside corner, and he's back on the pine.
Yeah, he got Rawling moving backwards, but he just missed hitting his spot. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. And that one's high for a ball. Rawlings works his way back to even at 2-2.
What time is that right now?
Rawlings has shown he has that powerful fastball, but that was the first of his dynamic curve that was seen in this game. Here comes the 2-2. That was inside. That's going to make it a full count here for Henry Rawlings. It was down 0-2, worked his way all the way back to a full count.
Next home game Tuesday versus Northern. Did you say we played Tuesday?
Went out here in the bottom of the third inning, 4-3 Scouts, and here's the payoff. That one's low. And from down 0-2 to a walking, it's Henry Rawlings. He's going to get on for the second time this game.
And Seth had some good pitches in that at-bat, but he missed the locations just enough to end up walking Rawlings. So he just hits a spot, then that doesn't happen. Rawlings back on the bench, and Logan starts his at-bat much sooner.
Trey Logan now up to second baseman, also from Georgia, struck out his first at-bat. He's at the end of this lineup. That one's low in dirt for a ball. And that's going to be the fourth walk of the game for Hallmark. He has 4 strikeouts and 4 walks through 2 1/3 innings of pitching here in Lima as the sun begins to set. And pick off the temp, just keeping Rawlings honest over there at first base. 1-0 count here in the bottom of the third with 1 out and a man on first, and the Scouts up by 1 with a score of 4-3. David Gaunt with that 3-run blast in the top of the third. And that one's in there for a strike. Hallmark finding a spot. Count is now 1-1. Looks at the runner at first. And he gets that outside corner. Count is now 1-2.
Yeah.
Oh, why not? Tom got kicked out of the game on the microphone.
Didn't he? That's right.
1-2 count. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be lined to left field for a single. Runners now on first and second with 1 out. It's Trey Logan takes that one to the left.
Shortstop from Richmond, Tyler Beckwith.
That's going to start us back at the top of the order. Tyler Beckwith. He had an RBI double in the bottom of the second. And here comes assistant coach and general manager Taylor Hargrove. Him, Hallmark, and Gaunt to have a meeting at the mound. And that's going to be it for Hallmark. So Seth Hallmark gets their 2 1/3 innings of action. Or 72 pitches. He finished with 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Up to runner on first and second. He had 5 strikeouts.
2 1/3.
And who's gonna?
So it'll be Thomas Wanning coming in to pitch.
Lance, what can you tell us about Thomas Wanning?
Well, first off, he's from Xavier University, one of the few Division I players the Scouts have on their team. And his last appearance was on Thursday against the Lake Erie Monarchs. He came in for just 1 inning of work, didn't allow any hits, but walked the first 2 guys he faced and found a way out of the inning with some great timing. There was a double play, unassisted double play to Lincoln Reed over at first that led to them getting out of that inning without any damage done. So it'll be the second time this regular season we see Thomas Wanning coming into the ball game, and as you may or may not be able to see via the web stream, it has a very interesting delivery. He bends all the way over at the waist when he comes to his set and is always working from the stretch position. So interesting to see what we can get from Wanning today. We saw a little bit of it on Thursday in just a 1 inning of work. So odds are he's going to have some extended time seeing as he's coming in during the bottom of the third inning.
And as the sun sets, the web stream's going to get a little hard to see. So lights are all the way out in left center and right center field. Not many here up by home plate. So we'll be giving you our play-by-play descriptions to get you through the broadcast for those watching at home. Thomas Wanning now taking on Tyler Beckwith in a really pivotal spot. Here comes the first pitch, and that was low and outside for a ball. Count is now 1-0. Beckwith 1 for 2. We mentioned his RBI double last inning. Also grounded out to shortstop to start the first for the Locos. One's pitch, and that one had a lot of movement on it. And it's in there for a strike. Counts now 1-1.
We did last time, 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Trey Logan over there at second base. Excuse me, no, Trey Logan at first base and Henry Rawling at second, as that one's low for a ball. 2 Bulldogs in the starting lineup for the Lima Locos on base, as Thomas is trying to sit down Tyler Beckwith. 2-1 count. Remember, there's one out here in the bottom of the third, and that one's also outside. Count is now 3-1.
Can't beat Grand Lake.
Supposed to be looking counting. Yeah, we can't beat them, especially down there.
No, we never went down there.
Nope.
Wanting trying to avoid walking his first batter. Did have a walk on Thursday. That one's in the dirt, and that's going to be a walk. And that's going to load the bases with only one out.
So following the same fashion he did on Thursday, he walks first batter he faces.
So bases loaded here in the bottom of the third inning, the third straight inning. The Locos have had bases loaded in the first two. The Scouts were able to get out of it. They had 2 outs in both of those instances and were just able to get a ground out to end the inning both times. This time only 1 out for Mitch Carragher. Scouts would love to turn a double play here. Carragher doubled last time and got an RBI. That was in there for a strike. 0-1 count here to Mitch Carragher, center fielder from Maryville. 1 for 2 in the game. Also struck out in the first inning. Here's the pitch. That one's low and inside.
Don't they go up there on Monday night? Yeah.
That one's going to go for a ball for Thomas Wanning.
And Northern Ohio comes here Tuesday. It's a beautiful facility.
We're at Northern Ohio. Monday.
Bases loaded. Got still up 4-3 here in the bottom of the third. Thomas Wanning trying to keep onto that lead, and that one's going to be line to center. And that's going to bring in a couple, as there's going to be. No. As the horn blows, and that's going to tie up this ball game.
It's just unfortunate there. Left that one a little too much over the middle and hit that one right in the gap towards center field. So not much the defense could do on that one.
So Henry Rawling originally walked, and he comes all the way home to score, and that's going to put Logan at third, Beckwith on second, and Carragher at first. That's the RBI single. And it's coming up to the plate is Will Kilgore, who swings and misses at the first pitch. Homered in the first inning, struck out last inning.
Yeah, he's swung.
He swung. I was looking down.
0-1 count, Wanting trying to. And that's going to be a pass ball, and the runner will not go. Wild pitch gets past Gaunt, but sitting over there at third and staying at third is Trey Logan. Decided not to make a play at the plate.
Remember line 2 there, right? There's like 70 feet between the plate.
Count is 1-1.
Yeah.
Big spot here for the Scouts. A 4-4 ball game. There's Wanting. Now it's going to hit towards short. Or picks it up, throws it to second. And it's going to be an error as Binger cannot corral it. And that's going to lead to a couple of runs. That's going to bring home both Trey Logan and Tyler Beckwith. Now the score is 6-4 Lima. So it looks like a shot for a double play to end the inning. With the error on Christian Binger is going to make it 6-4.
This is for one.
So runners on the corner here, still one out. Scouts down 6-4. That's in there for a strike at the plate now for Locos is Brett Murray. Scouts been struggling defensively in this one. Now it's outside for a ball. Count is now 1-1 with 1 out, 6-4 Locos here, only in the bottom of the third inning. About an hour and 15 minutes into this game, we have not gotten through a third of this ball game. Definitely gonna test out those new lights here at Simmons Field tonight.
New ones, right?
And it looks like Wani's checking the runners at first and third.
Some sort of symphony music, you know?
The sun continues to set here in Lima, Ohio.
We'll work on that with time.
1-1 pitch. That one's outside for a ball. Count is 2-1. Thomas Wanning came into the game for Seth Hallmark. Hallmark gave up 3 runs, and Wanning has given up the same amount so far here in the bottom of the third. Now it's a pass ball, and it's going to score another run. Errors here for the Scouts.
Defense has not done very well. Pitching hasn't been too great either, but if you can't rely on your defense, it's very hard to go up there and allow guys to hit, so you're going to be more hesitant to throw it over the plate.
You're absolutely right, Lance, and this is a rough spot for the Scouts right now. That's going to move Kilgore to second base. Brett Murray still at the plate. And went behind Murray. That wild pitch went behind Murray. Looks like it might have nicked him, but it missed his backside, and that's going to send Kilgore all the way to third base. So he got on with an error and a couple wild pitches, and Kilgore is on third.
Like 6? How many?
About 6.
Wanning's 3-2. That one's hit deep to right field. And that one's gone. So the struggles for Thomas Wanning and the Scouts. And the score is now 8-4 after that 2-run blast by Brett Murray.
Just like you could tell when it was off the bat of Kilgore in the opening inning, that one was gone from the moment it hit his bat. And it could be a very long day for the Scouts bullpen, as we're already on our second pitcher.
So already 5 given up here.
As now Nick Street going to the bullpen to warm up.
So it might be a switch coming soon. As 5 have been given up. Excuse me, an error. The 4 given up earned from Thomas Wanning, so he gets a strike right there. The new batter, Nick Eltzroff, who walked his first 2 at-bats. But Brett Murray's having a whale of a ball game. He is 2 for 2 with a 2-run home run, stolen base, and a walk. Count is now 1-1
This right here.
to Eltzroff.
You had quite a year at Creighton.
1-1 pitch, and that one is outside. 2-1 now for Wanning, who's still trying to find his rhythm on the mound. been shaken up here from the Locos in the bottom of the third. Looks like the Scouts have the momentum. David Gahn had that 3-run blast to put the Scouts up 4-3. But it's been all Locos here in the bottom of the third. 2-2 count, 1 out. Base is empty. They were cleared. A 2-run blast by Brett Murray, a left fielder from Creighton. Thomas Wanning trying to get his first out. And he gets it right there. Caught looking was Eltrock. And he's going to be sent back to the dugout.
And that one very much needed after what's happened with the last couple of batters. All of them getting on, whether by hit or by error, all of them had came around to score. So that was a big strikeout there from Wanning.
Definitely needed that. And the Scouts just needed to sit a batter. And he gets the strike there. Count is now 0-1. They haven't got someone out since the very first batter of the bottom of the third, Billy Lipari, who is on deck right now, Lance. And that one's hit towards center. Going back is Gilcrease, and he's able to get it against the wall. Bounces against the M of the Lima logo out there. And it looks like that one might be out too, Lance, but that's going to end the inning, but not before some significant damage was done as the Locos bat all the way through and put a 5 spot on the board, and now lead the Scouts 8-4.
And that was just a terrible inning for the Scouts. There's no other way to put it. You give up 6 runs in the bottom part of the third between Hallmark and Wanning. That's absolutely just devastating after the top half of the inning you had. Like you mentioned, with the big home run from Gahn, they had all the momentum on their side, and it all went away pretty quickly, as now we're going to see Logan Barnett coming into the game for the Lima Locos.
All right, Lance. Logan Barnett coming into the game. He's from Georgia State. Multiple players from Georgia State on this team for Lima.
3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs.
So a big inning in the bottom of the third for the Locos. That's put them up 9-4.
34 strikes. You cannot win. This is the pitch for the record.
Scouts are definitely going to need to bring their bats out. So it's a 3-run blast from Brett Murray. Has put the Locos up by this 5 spot.
Coming in to pitch for the Locos from Georgia State, number 3, Logan Barnett.
Coming up for the Scouts will be Jonathan Bravo, who doubled and got an RBI last time he was up. He put in David Gaunt, who was sitting over at third.
6 strikeouts, no walks.
Now it's already back in the second inning. On the top of the second, seems like almost an eternity ago, Lance, and we're only in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, it's been a very slow-moving ball game, but a lot of the bat being put on the ball, as you can tell from the scoreboard. There's been a run scored in every single half of an inning except the top half of the first inning from the Scouts.
Including 9 total runs given up in that third. Here's the first pitch to Jonathan Bravo. And that bunt attempting to go for a strike. Count is now 0-1. 0-1 pitch. And he gets him swinging. Count is now 0-2. A lot of movement on that pitch from Logan Barnett. And that one's got Bravo looking, and he's going to go down. First strikeout of the game for Logan Barnett. Fresh into the game here in the top of the fourth.
Number 6, the center fielder from Baylor, Levi Gilcrease.
That's going to bring up Levi Gilcrease. And Gilcrease struck out his last time out.
Been a lot of strikeouts between both sides, but Lima's been able to get more hits on the board.
They have, and that one's going to be foul. Count's now going to be 1-1. Lima has 8 hits compared to the Scouts 3. including 2 home runs given up. One given up by Hallmark and one given up by Thomas Wanning. We'll have to see if Thomas Wanning will come back out in the bottom of the 4th inning, because the one went to Gilcrease, and that one has a lot of movement, but a little high. It's going to go 2-1. Here goes the 2-1 pitch. That one's high and inside. Count is 3-1 to Gilcrease. Garrett Peak finished his game with 4 strikeouts, a walk, and 4 runs given up. 3-2 count. And that one's hit over towards right field. And the second baseman is going to take it over. So Trey Logan puts that one away. And quickly 2 down for the Scouts.
And it's not looking great for the Scouts right now. I mean, unless they can find something to do with 2 outs after Bravo strikes out looking, and then the fly ball out from Gilcrease. So they're going to have to find a way to get something going.
9-4 Locos lead here in the top of the 4th inning. That ball from Barnett is going to go for a ball. Counts now 1-1 to Austin Orr. Logan Barnett just got put on the mound. He's done well so far. That one is outside as well. Count is now 2-0. Austin Orr in the 2nd inning grounded out to 2nd. And that one's hit towards 1st. Now it's going to be put away by Cole Gordon. And 1, 2, 3. The Scouts go down and start the top of the 4th inning. And that's not a good sign for the Scouts. They've been answering back all game long. Locos put up a run in the 1st inning. Scouts responded in the top of the 2nd. 2 runs in the 2nd inning for the Locos. 3 runs for the Scouts in the top of the 3rd. But then 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Lima Locos. And no response from the Scouts. Lance, looks like we're still going to see Thomas Wanning.
Yeah, we almost don't have a choice at this point but to see Wanning. Like we mentioned, came in the 3rd inning after Seth Hallmark was struggling, and Wanning was struggling himself, but with the lack of depth from the pitching staff we have right now after 3 guys pitched last night, you have to think that the 2 relievers, Joe and Joey, could come in if need be, but I would guess Bubba Cates doesn't want to extend their arms too much. So this could be, like I mentioned earlier, a long day from the bullpen, especially if Wanning continues to struggle like he did when he came in.
Wanning had a couple of walked batters in his first 2/3 innings of pitching. Remember, Seth Hallmark started the first 1/3 of that 3rd inning. He went 2 1/3 before he was taken out. Seth started this game. He gave up 3, and up to the plate for the Locos to be Billy Lipari, who started off the 3rd inning as well. Now it's outside for a ball. Saw Nick Street in the pen earlier. We wonder if he's going to get some action. And that one's got past Lipari for a strike. Count is now 1-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Scouts down 9-4.
And Nick Street is throwing in the pen as we speak.
There's a 1-1 pitch. Now it's a little bit low for Wanning. Count is now 2-1. Scouts roughed up that bottom of the 3rd last inning. Can't afford to give up many more runs. That one's going to be hit to right field, but that one's going to be gotten under by Bravo. And that's going to start off the inning with an out for Billy Lipari. He's now 0 for 3 with that fly out to right field, and Jonathan Bravo putting it away. And now coming up to the plate will be Henry Rowland. He started off the whole brouhaha on the bottom of the 3rd. He walked, but was eventually able to come all the way around to score. A lot of wild pitches for the Scouts, adding to the Scouts scoring. And that one gets past gone as well. Here comes Wanning pitch. That one's low and outside. Wanting from his midsection start is going to hit that one over to Christian Binger at second. Binger corrals the throws. And just in time, Henry Rawling almost beat that one out.
That brings up number 12, second baseman from Georgia, Trey Logan.
But 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Scouts trying to get their first 1, 2, 3 inning as Trey Logan stepping up to the plate.
This is exactly the kind of inning the Scouts need. They get the first 2 guys out. Now they just got to get this guy for 1, 2, 3.
Trey Logan looks at that one for a strike. Start us off here, the 3rd batter of the bottom of the 4th inning. Count is 0-1 from Wanting. That one's low. Count is now 1-1. Logan single last time he was up. Came all the way around to score. As did 5 other Scouts. 5 other Locos in that bottom of the 3rd. Put a 6th spot in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That one's foul backwards. Count is now 1-2. One-two pitch. Thought about it. Decided against it. Better judgment from Trey Logan as he watches that one go high and away for a ball. Count is now evened up 2-2. Scouts down 9-4. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. That one's going to be dribbled over towards third base. Kyle Carnahan charges it, but misplays it. We're going to call that one an error. Oh, they're deciding right now. I think it's a single. I think it was going to be a hard play for Carnahan to make.
All right, that was too much like Todd.
Official score calls that a base hit.
And they're going to rule it a single, not an error on Carnahan. So back-to-back singles in the 3rd and 4th inning for Trey Logan.
Would have been a tough play.
Yeah, if he made a perfect play.
And pick off attempt over there at first. Back in time as Logan is why Hogan applies the tag. So 2 outs here, runner on first base. Back to the start of the lineup with Tyler Beckwith. And he's going. Gaunt's ball is almost in the center field. I think they would have had him if that was on target, but a stolen base by Trey Logan.
Well, on that one, it looks like Gaunt was looking for where Binger was. He wasn't very close to the bag. I think he was just trying to throw that one directly to him, not to the bag. Like you mentioned, had he thrown to the bag, probably would have gotten the out.
I saw Gaunt gun down a runner yesterday in Flat Rock against the Lake Erie Monarchs. That one to no avail. So it's a 4-9 game. Lima Locos up on your Xenia Scouts. 2 outs here. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. That one's going to be hit towards left field. And that one's just foul. That would have been trouble towards the local bullpen.
No, you can't. Well, the bars.
That's going to be another strike.
Doesn't matter.
Thomas Wanting still working here, trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Got the first 2 out, ground out to second.
Reds came back and won.
Also fly out to right to start the inning. But then that single from Trey Logan on a stolen base has another runner in scoring position here for the Locos. You have to remember they've left 6 on in this game as well. So it could be even worse than the 94 score. 1-1's the count, and that one's fouled off. Count is now 1-2. And Thomas is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning without giving up a run. Scouts got all their scoring in the 2nd and 3rd inning. They're able to use an RBI double from Jonathan Bravo in the 2nd, bring home David Gaunt, and then Gaunt repay the action with a 3-run shot. Give the Scouts their 4 runs in this game. That was in the top of the 3rd inning. That one's off of Wanting's foot, and the play is made from Austin Orr. Good job charging that ball. A very confident throw to first, and that's going to end Tyler Beckwith in the 4th inning, and that's going to send us to the top of the 5th. Scouts still down 9-4, Lance.
And that ground ball was exactly what the Scouts needed to get out of that inning. They'd been struggling all game long. They finally found a way to keep Lima from getting any runs on the board. So they still have to chip away at that lead if they want a chance, still trailing 9-4 like you mentioned. But getting Lima to get out of that inning helps them out a little bit.
Yeah, the Scouts need to put the wood on the ball. Last inning they went down 1, 2, 3, down by 5 runs here in the top of the 5th. The sun's about to fade, and so will the Scouts' chances if they don't get some hits here. Coming back to the mound for the Locos will be Logan Barnett. He did very well that last half inning, as we mentioned. Went 1, 2, 3, including a strikeout to Jonathan Bravo. Lance, who's going to start the side for the Scouts?
It'll be the same starting part of the lineup that it was in the 3rd inning, and that was last time the Scouts got some runs on the board. It'll be the number 9 hitter, Miles Wright. Then we will be back to the top of the lineup with Christian Binger and Kevin Merrill, your designated hitter.
Miles Wright struck out last time. Trying to get some more contact on the ball. This at-bat did very well yesterday, making contact. It's one of those players where he puts in the plate. You never know if he's going to be safe or not because he has so much speed.
Yeah, I remember yesterday during the game, he hit one towards right field, and the guy made a great play, and it was the only reason he wasn't standing on first base.
That one's tipped away. Count's now 0-1. Logan Barnett, a righty. Puts a lot of movement on the ball. Saw that in his pre-inning warm-ups. Here in the top of the 5th, 9-4. Locos lead the Scouts. That one hits Miles Wright. And he's going to take his free base.
And like you mentioned, Miles likes to run. We know that for a fact. So if he finds the right pitch to run on, he's going to be on the move. And you mentioned Barnett has a lot of movement on his pitches. When that's the case, it allows the base runner a little bit more time than they would if they throw just a straight fastball.
Right, and that one's going to be hit towards second. This could be double play territory. They go 4-6, and that one is way, way, way over. So it will be an out, but Christian Binger is going to be on second with a fielder's choice and error on the shortstop.
Yeah, you mentioned that ball would have been a perfect double play territory, and they hit that one right towards the second baseman in Logan, and he flipped it over to Beckwith for the double play, and he threw that one right into the Scouts' dugout. So just a little bit of being too eager for the double play ball because you don't always get the chance to turn a double play. So I think it was just a little too eager on that one.
I think you're absolutely right, Lance. I think that's a perfect way to describe Tyler Beckwith. Was focused so hard on turning to. He had plenty of time. I think he could have got Binger out from a mile, but rushed it, and he threw it into the Scouts' dugout. So now Christian Binger is on second base with the fielder's choice and error from shortstop Tyler Beckwith, and that's going to bring up Kevin Merrill, who also got on with an error last time. Merrill got off a single last time, but then was able to advance to second on an error, similar to what we just saw with Christian, as Christian got off a fielder's choice. And here comes the pitch. That one's going to be lined to left field. Are they going to send the runner home? They will not. As Binger's going to stay over there. And they're going to throw to second, and Merrill is out as he slides past the bag. Kevin Merrill, some heads-up base running, taking 2, but he slides past the bag, is unable to keep his hand on, and then was tagged out with a 7-5-4 putout.
And I think had they been ready to run on that one was Binger, he probably would have been able to just come and score, but Merrill was probably expecting that they would have the throw home and slid into second, and he was safe, and it appeared he slid past the base, and that's the only reason he got tagged out.
Yeah, Merrill, we talked about it earlier, 4.4 speed in the 40. It looks like he was safe, Lance, but he cannot hold on to the bag. Smart heads up play from Logan Barnett, firing it over to second. That one's going to be high. So quickly, 2-0 count here to Kyle Carnahan, who's at the plate now for the Scouts. He walked his last time up, struck out in the first inning. Man on third for the Scouts, Christian Binger. A lot of curve on that one, just missed inside. Count is now 3-0 to Carnahan, who would like another walk right here. He's probably taking on this 3-0. And inside, the Carnahan will walk back-to-back bats.
That'll bring up the cleanup hitter.
So runners on the corners for the Scouts.
And of course, got to mention, last time David Gaunt came to the plate with 2 runners on base, he was able to put one over the left field wall. So hopefully Lightning can strike twice.
And the Scouts could definitely use some of that medicine right here. David Gaunt, a righty, in a big spot. Walked and scored his first time, homered his last time. Swing and a miss right there. Count is now 0-1. Carnahan has some speed over that first with a runner on third, Christian Binger. I wonder if he's going to try to steal 2 outs here.
Yeah,
On the top of the 5th, Scouts down 9-4. Carnahan's pitch. That one's outside. Count is now 1-1 to Gaunt.
He liked his son.
Logan Barnett from Georgia State,
He built that field for
trying to
his
avoid
son.
giving up his first run of the ball game. That's his pitch. That one's going to be fouled over towards the third baseline. This misses manager Bubba Cates. Count is now 1-2. Scouts are down to the last strike of the top of the 5th. David Gaunt got his back against the wall.
Played a couple of years in the Colorado system and came back.
Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. And that one is just tipped off. Handcuff gone on that one, but he gets enough of it to foul it backwards into the chain link
It's
fence.
got different owners.
Yeah, it's not Mills anymore.
No.
Same field, though.
Oh, yeah.
Mills field.
1-2 pitch. And that one get high into the sky. Got 3 Locos going after that one, and that will be put away by Tyler Beckwith, and that's going to end the danger from the Scouts as they walk away, doing no damage in the top of the 5th. Score remains 9-4 after getting Christian Binger all the way to third base. So a disappointing result to end that top of the 5th, Lance.
Yeah, just like we mentioned, had 2 guys left on base at the corners. Gaunt wasn't able to drive them in. But like we mentioned, had a home run in his last at-bat. You can't get too lucky when you're the Scouts today. So just haven't been able to do everything that they've been doing the last couple of days. And they're going to have to find a way to turn it around if they want to, come out with this W.
And Lance, what's the side going to look like for the Locos going to the bottom of the 5th inning?
For the Locos, it will start off with their number 2 hitter, Mitch Carriger. Then it would be Will Kilgore and Brett Murray. So 2, 3, 4 for the Locos, and it's been those guys primarily doing a lot of their damage.
And now they're going to turn the lights here at Simmons Field for the first time. Brand new lights were installed a few months ago. It's the first time they've seen some action. Got a nice applause from the home crowd. Thomas Wanning still on the mound. He's got an inning 2/3 pitched. Has 5 runs scored against him, 4 of them earned. An error earlier on Christian Binger.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th with the Locos, center fielder from Maryville.
That's going to bring up the center fielder, Mitch Carriger from Maryville University. Carriger singled home a run last time.
We got trivia coming up at the end of the 5th inning also.
And he was batted in from third on that big home run from Brett Murray. That first one's
Okay,
low.
prizes for that,
What are you
Marty?
winning for trivia?
That's a good question.
What are the prizes tonight?
So 1-0 count. Here's a Carriger, and he fouls it off to the right side. Evens it up 1-1. Carriger in the second inning also had an RBI. He had an RBI double. Did not score that time, though. And it's 2 RBIs in a run. So great game so far from Mitch Carriage. Just 2 for 3, struck out in the first inning. Here comes Wanting. That one's in the dirt. Picked up by Gaunt not before the ball. 2-1 is the count. Thomas Wanting is the second pitcher the Scouts have thrown out. Seth Hallmark. There's 2 1/3. Give up 4 runs. Here comes Wanting's pitch, and that's going to be hit over towards left field. Called off. And great play by Miles Wright, showing off his speed and range. That one was in very shallow left field and came all the way up. Called off Austin Orr and made the catch for the first out of the inning. Now Carriger is 2 for 4.
That's exactly what you're taught as the shortstop there that time. Austin Orr was trying to go back for that one. You keep going back for that ball until you are called off by the outfielder. That's exactly what happened. Great job by Miles Wright to get underneath that one for the first out.
Good communication as Kilgore's balls will be dribbled towards Orr, who throws them out at first. So a grounder to the shortstop, and quickly 2 down here for the Locos in the bottom of the 5th. Austin Orr has looked very good out there at short. There was that one play where it's like a little bit of communication between him, Christian Binger. His throw was a little off. It went off Binger's glove. A little bit of blame, I think, we claimed on both of those. Added to more runs against the Scouts. And that one is going to deep center field. Levi Gilchrist trying to get under it and will put it away so quickly. The Scouts get out of the bottom of the 5th. Last 2 batters swinging on first pitches. And that fly out to center is going to bring us into the 6th inning of Playlands.
So that'll be 2nd inning in a row. Didn't allow the Locos to get on the scoreboard. So now Scouts are going to have to come back with whatever they can. So we'll see what they're made of here. And it'll be Wyatt Hogan leading it off for the Scouts. Then it'll go to Jonathan Bravo, the right fielder. Then Levi Gilchrist, the center fielder, will be the 3rd hitter this inning for your Xenia Scouts.
And it's the wall, Lance. They saw in the team-building exercise they did before the regular season where the Scout players got together, had to climb a wall using teamwork, lifting each other up, pulling each other over the wall. And that wall represents this 5-run lead that the Scouts are trying to overcome right now. They have to pull each other up, string a couple hits together, try to get back into this ball game slowly but surely, but can't afford to put any more goose eggs on the board like they did the last 2 innings. And Lance, who's going to be the side coming up for the Scouts here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, we're going to have Wyatt Hogan, then Jonathan Bravo, Levi Gilchrist. So Wyatt Hogan's been struggling thus far today, has 2 strikeouts. Bravo has an RBI double to go with a strikeout. Then Levi Gilchrist has 1 strikeout to go with a fly ball out to the second baseman.
A lot of strikeouts in this game for the Scouts. As Wyatt steps up to the plate, still on the mound for the Locos is Logan Barnett, entering his 3rd inning of action. Count's now 0-1.
And I got to think that if we see another struggling at-bat from Hogan, we could see Lincoln Reed come into the ballgame.
And that one's going to be grounded towards short. And not in time is Wyatt Hogan. Is a great throw over there by Tyler Beckwith. Gets out the lead man of the top of the 6th inning, and now Wyatt is 0 for 3 in this ball game. Coming up next for the Scouts will be Jonathan Bravo. Bravo is 1 for 2 in this game. He struck out last time. Here comes the pitch. And Bravo could not check in time.
That one had a lot of movement, and that one moved all the way from one side of the box to the other.
And that one's going to be hit towards second, and lining out is Jonathan Bravo. So quickly, 2 down for the Scouts here in the top of the 6th. As Logan Barnett is making quick work of this Scout rotation. Now coming out to the plate for the Scouts with Levi Gilchrist. And Barnett pins the outside corner on that one. Count is now 0-1. Gilchrist is 0 for 2. Struck out in the second and flew out to second in the 4th. That one's a ball low. Count is now 1-1.
Tyler Anderson, kid from Shawnee,
Righty versus righty battle here.
He got shut down with Bowling Green because it was
in there for a strike. Count is now 1-2.
That was a bright spot last night.
Gilchrist down to his last strike. Scouts are down to the last strike here at the top of the 6th. 1-2. Outside for a ball. Count is now even at 2-2. Gilchrist from Baylor University. Show it to the team late because his team is playing interregionals. 2-2 pitch. And that one's going to be fouled out of play to the right side. So some contact there from Levi.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell me we need some strikeouts.
Some strikeouts.
Hey, I sold that by telling Andy per game was 8.6, and here we are in the first 3 innings, and 6 guys are struck out of 9 batters.
2-2 count, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's low, and that's going to make it full. Levi Gilchrist works all the way back to make it a 3-2 count here. Scouts trying to get a base runner in the top of the 6th inning. And here comes the pitch, and it's low. And great job by Levi Gilchrist getting on base, working all the way back, and getting himself a walk.
And that could be the kind of thing the Scouts need to get rolling. Haven't had too much going on lately. They had a little action in the 3rd inning, but we haven't seen much since then.
Pre-off attempt, not in time. That's Austin Orr steps up to the plate. Austin's 0 for 2.
That's what we're going to tell him.
After going 1 for 2 last night. And it's going to be fouled away. And Gilchrist was running on that one, so you know he's prepared to steal second. Billy Lapari is now going to be very aware behind the plate.
And if you're the Scouts, if you can swipe a base, you have to, because you have to find ways to get guys in scoring position. Otherwise, you have no chance of coming back.
And that one's going to be hit towards left field. And that one's going to be put away easily. So after the top of the 6th, it is the Locos 9 and the Scouts 4. And Lance, Scouts bats have gone quiet these last 3 innings.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. They haven't been able to do much of anything. The last time someone got a hit was Kevin Merrill back in the 5th inning. Since then, bats have gone very quiet. We've had a couple walks in between there, so of course you got to be happy about guys still finding ways to get on base, but you can't rely on walks to come back in a ballgame. You have to find a way to put the bat on the ball, hit it into the gaps, find a way to get some guys on base. Otherwise, you can't cut into the lead at all.
No, you can't, Lance, and it seems like that big 6-run 3rd inning just took all the life out of the Xenia Scouts. It just hasn't been the same team since. They were answering back to Lima with everything they gave them, even going out 4-3 after the big run, 3-run home run from David Gaunt. And it looks like the Scouts had all the momentum, but just a huge inning, including that 3-run home run from Brett Murray. And the Scouts haven't been able to come back to form yet. Lance, who's the side coming up for the Locos here in the bottom of the 6th?
For the Locos, it will start with Nick Eltrotz, their designated hitter. Then it will go to Cole Gordon, their first baseman. Then Billy Laparty, their catcher.
And last time Eltrotz was up, he struck out looking. He also has 2 walks in this ball game. Both of those from Seth Hallmark, who has since been replaced. Thomas Wanning, who's still on the mound.
Luke Reynolds.
I'm going to have a pinch hitter, Luke Reynolds from Mississippi State.
Luke Reynolds, who did play yesterday, he went 1 for 3, scored a run, also struck out against the Grand Lake Mariners. That was in there for a strike, so Thomas Wanning going right at Luke Reynolds.
Ron, I don't know what we're talking about, Marty.
There's the pitch. That one goes for a ball.
1-1, Tommy.
1-1 count.
Luke Reynolds, Mississippi State.
And here's the 1-1. That's foul to the right, so Wanning goes up.
Cowboys
1
from
and 2.
Mississippi State.
What?
Cowboy. On the radio.
Right, Cowboys from Mississippi State.
The guy said Ole Miss.
1 and 2 count. Here to Luke Reynolds. Pitch hitting for Nick Eltrott.
They hate Ole Miss.
And that one is going to be Sent right back to center field for a single. So Luke Reynolds comes in the pitch hit, and he does his job and starts off the bottom of the 6th inning with a man on first.
It looks like once again Nick Street's getting loose in the Xenia Scout bullpen.
That's going to send out Cole Gordon, the first baseman. Another Mississippi State player. So now back-to-back Mississippi State players in the lineup for the Locos. So 2 Mississippi State players, 2 Georgia players, and the lineups of 4 SEC players currently in for the Locos. Runner on first, 9-4. Lima leads Xenia. That one's low for a ball. Thomas Swanee has struggled a little bit in this outing. 1-0 count.
You know how this goes. Yeah. It's not quite high school baseball, but
1-0, and that was high for a wild pitch. High off the ground is what I mean. It bounced off and almost went over the backstop fence. That one hit the ground so hard, so the count is now 2-0, and scampering over to second base with Luke Reynolds easily. The runner in scoring position. No outs here in the bottom of 6 for the Locos. Cole Gordon trying to extend their 9-4 game. Gordon's 0 for 2. Was also hit by a pitch in the first inning. The 6'6" first baseman from Mississippi State. And here comes Wanix 2-0. That one's hit right back up the center. Gets to the gill crease. He's going to throw in, and they're going to hold the runner at third. And they're going to throw to a second. Gets past Binger, but luckily gets past Orr, but luckily Binger was there to back him up, or Gaughan's throw went right back to center. As that's going to end with Cole Gordon on second. The runners on second and third after the big throw home from Gilcrease, thinking that Luke Reynolds was going to try to score. And Gaughan trying to throw him out of second. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound right now for Thomas Wine.
Doesn't look like he's going to go to the bullpen quite yet. I feel like if he was, he would have signaled by now.
He's just trying to calm down his nerves. 9-4 ball game. No outs here. Runners on second and third. Scouts can't afford to give up many more runs if they want to have a shot on this one. That's going to send up Billy Lipari, one player for this local team who hasn't had much success. He's 0 for 3. Flew out to right last time he was up. Every other local has got on base. So Reynolds at second and Gordon at third. 2 Bulldogs from Mississippi State on the base pass. That one's down and inside. Gaughan does a good job of getting in front of that one, and that one could hit the backstop. Might have scored Reynolds. 1-0 count now. On the stretch throws, and that one's outside this time to the right. Outside corner, he misses 2-0.
Yeah, Wanning still struggling to locate his pitches.
Has been for a while now. 2-out count. Here's the throw, and that one's low as well in the dirt. Blocked by Gaughan. And 3-0 here to Billy Lipari. On deck for the Locals will be Henry Rawling. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners on second and third. Scouts down 9-4. That one's in there for a strike. Right down the middle goes Wanning. The beautiful sunset right beyond the trees here at Simmons Field in Lima, Ohio. Scouts came into this game 2-0, and they're in a desperate spot here as that one is going to be low, and Billy Lipari walks. Going to be another walk for Wanting, and that loads the bases.
Gotta load the bases for number 22, right fielder Henry Locos.
Now coming up for Lima will be Henry Rawling. He grounded out to second last time. Almost beat out the throw from Binger to Wyatt Hogan over there at first. But before that, he had a single and scored and walked and scored. So he's 1 for 2.
With the Chicago White Sox and the name bold to win a
So bases loaded, no outs here for the Scouts. A dangerous predicament for Thomas Wanting. David got one out there to try to calm him down.
Rosie, you can go down and pick up your prize package at the
9-4 is your score. Locals have put up 11 hits in this ball game.
Ticket office, where you get tickets.
Here comes Wanting, and that one's well inside. Almost hit a runner home as he almost hit Henry Rawling in there. Jumped out of the way if he would have got nicked by that ball. It would be 10-4 Scouts, but count is now 1-0. And that one's got the outside corner. Count is now 1-1 for Wanting. Henry Rawling from Georgia University, the right fielder. Here comes the pitch, and that one's low for a ball. Count is now 2-1.
Like the, you see the Angels last night? The Angels are down 8-1 going against the Yankees. They score 5 runs and have the bases.
Here goes the 2-1 pitch, and that one's going to be hit towards first off of Wyatt Hogan. He's going to scramble for it, but nothing doing. And that's going to be ruled as a hit. So RBI single for Henry Rawling. And the score is now 10-4.
Hey, and they had taken Trout and Pujols out of the game.
Oh, they have?
So they
And Luke Reynolds started off this inning with a single, comes all the way around to score. So he pinch hits, gets on, and comes all the way around. Score is now 10-4 Locos. That's going to bring Trey Logan up to the plate. He singled last time. Stole a base.
Pitch hitting for the Locos, number 7, Grant Williams.
And we have a substitution. It's going in for Trey Logan will be Grant Williams. He played yesterday as a DH for Locos against the Mariners. He went 0 for 2. That one outside corner for a strike. Count is now 0-1.
Grant is from Kennesaw State.
Grant Williams from Kennesaw State University. 0-1 is the count. Bases loaded. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 10-4 Locos as that one's fouled off. And Williams goes down 0-2 quickly. It's an 0-2 count. Thomas Wanting still trying to get his first out here in the bottom of the 6th. That one outside for a ball. Count is now 1-2. 3 singles given up here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and a walk to Billy Lipari. And that one is going to be a hit towards short. Austin Orr throws to second in time and gets Henry Rawling going towards second. And the fielder's choice RBI for pinch hitter Grant Williams is going to extend the lead to 11-4.
And now it appears Coach Bubba Cates will go to his bullpen. It'll be Nick Street coming into the game.
Nick Street only saw a third of an inning of pitching against the Cincinnati Spikes in the exhibition game Tuesday night at Prasco Park in Mason, Ohio. Talked to him the day afterwards. He said he was feeling sore. Took himself out early in that one. Didn't pitch at all of this season in college because of a torn labrum he suffered the previous year. This is his first competitive games in over a year. He pitched an exhibition game on Tuesday night. He's in a tough spot as there's only one out here. With runners on the hot corners, first and third. That's going to send up Tyler Beckwith, who is coming up for his 5th at bat already. And we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Beckwith has batted every inning except for the 5th. And he is 1 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and a walk. It's ground off to short, his other 2 at bats.
From Grand Valley State, 6'6", 240. Nicholas Street.
He still doesn't look like his arm's 100% there.
Probably not. He's still kind of rehabbing. We might not see a ton of pitches from Nick Street. Might see some more action in the bullpen.
I would think this is just to kind of bridge the gap, if you will, from him to Ben Aldridge, because we know Nick wants to pitch. That's of course why he's here, but he's not 100%, like we mentioned, still recovering from surgery. So we'll see if this is just to kind of give it a go one more time, or if we're going to see any extended action out of him. My guess is he doesn't go more than maybe this inning. 2 if he's feeling great, but I would guess he only pitches this inning.
And now coming up is Tyler Beckwith, the shortstop. Runners on the corner are at first Grant Williams, who got on with that fielder's choice RBI, and Billy Lapari, catcher from Evansville, who got on earlier with a walk from Thomas Wanning. And here comes the first pitch from Nick Street. And that one's a little high for a ball. Count is now 1-0. Runners on the corners.
There it is again. Yeah, he's throwing knuckleballs.
And it's 2-0 now.
Sure is. I think it's coming in there about 55 miles an hour. Boniface, must be Boniface playing.
He's coming up late from surgery.
This guy is?
Yeah.
And here comes the 2-0. That one is fouled to the right side. It's going to look at a 2-1 count for Beckwith. So a rough day for the Scouts so far. Score is 11-4. Lima Locos on top here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 out here with runners on the corners. And there he gets Beckwith swinging. Evens up the count at 2-2. Strike away from Nick Street, getting his first batter of the ball game.
What's he having done again?
Well, it's
2-2 pitch, and he gets him swinging as Nick Street comes into the game and gets a strikeout. So good work in his first batter face from Nick Street. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Runners still on the corners, and Mitch Carragher comes into the game. He flew out last inning to left field.
2 hits, 2 RBIs from here.
He's 2 for 4 in the game. A single, a double, and 2 RBIs. And that was in the outside corner for a strike.
Well, it did for 2.5 years.
It worked, and then she just re-injured it.
And then he was going to play football this past year. That was last summer. It went like this.
Here's the 0-1. And that goes for a ball. Count is now 1-1 as that one's low and in the dirt. Good stuff by David Gaunt. Did not let it go to the backstop. But a runner over there at third. And he passed the ball. Has a chance to score a runner, but not a very deep backstop here at Simmons Field. The runner's going. That one's fouled to left field. And the Locos dugout is there working out their bullpen.
And you got to think that you mentioned the runner going. I don't think Nick Street's going to make the motion over to first because that'll just put unnecessary pressure on his arm. So, especially with 2 outs, he's going to let that runner basically do whatever he wants.
Especially with 2 strikes as well. I think he's just focus on carriage right here, trying to get out of the bottom of the 6th inning. And that one's going to be lined and caught by Wyatt Hogan. A Gold Glove type play, diving to his right, extending his left glove and finishing out the bottom of the 6th inning. So Wyatt Hogan ends the bottom of the 6th with an exclamation mark, but not before the Locos put 2 more on the board. And now the score is 11-4 with the Lima Locos leading the Scouts. 12 hits so far in the game for Lima.
Yeah, it's still like we've been saying, most of the game has been a rough go of it for your Xenia Scouts after that big 3rd inning that the Locos put up. Looks like we're going to have another pitching change for the Locos.
That'd be Drew Faintage coming into the game. Drew's from Central Florida University. And Grant Williams will be now playing 2nd base. He replaced Trey Logan last time.
Grant Williams at second base.
Which means Luke Reynolds will be their DH after he checked in.
And Lance, what's the side looking like for the Scouts?
And it'll be a very similar first 3 hitters for your Xenia Scouts. Same thing we saw in the 3rd, same thing we saw in the 5th. It'll be Miles Wright, then Christian Binger, then Kevin Merrill.
I see the Scouts can try to make a rally here in the top of the 7th, down by 7 runs. 11-4 is your score. The Locos tripling the Scouts in hits, 12-4. Locos actually have 2 errors compared to the Scouts 1, though. It's just been solid contact hitting all day long for the Locos. A lot of misplays by the Scouts, a lot of wild pitches. Being able to put more Locos in scoring position. And it's just been a long, long day for the Scouts.
What high school did you go to down here? It's a small one, you know, about, he said it's about the size of LCC. It's a small private school.
We're in Orlando.
No,
Tallahassee. Oh, he's from Tallahassee. And he went to Central Florida.
who's that? Number 2.
Miles Wright, bottom of the order. Puts in
Number 2, Miles Wright.
And Miles coming up to the plate.
Strikeouts here, guys.
He's 0 for 1. Got hit by pitch last time. That one's inside for a ball.
7 holding so far. Got to start picking up some speed. We want pizza.
And that one's high for a ball, so count is now 2-0 to Miles Wright. He can get on base.
It looks like he's going to be taking until he sees something he likes, especially with him not throwing any strikes yet.
2-0. That one's low for a ball. Count is now 3-0. A 3-0 pitch. As Wickley walks him. 4 straight balls, and Miles Wright is on first for the 2nd straight time. This time he walks. Last time he was hit.
And like we said last time, definitely likes to run. So if he gets a chance, he'll definitely be on the move.
Now he's in there for a strike for Binger.
Should.
Batting left-handed. Lefty-lefty battle here, and that one is fouled back there. So quickly 0-2 to Binger. Binger got all the way to 3rd last time on a fielder's choice in the air from the shortstop. Eventually got to 3rd, but was unable to score. That one's high for a ball. Counts now 1-2 to Binger with Miles Wright sitting over there at first base.
And I would have to think if he throws another curveball like he did, Miles might be on the move.
That's a pitch. That one's high. That now 2-2. We're trying to fight his way back here in the top of the 7th inning. Scouts down 11-4. That one's high as well. And it works his way all the way back to a full count, does Christian Binger. 3-2 here for the 2nd baseman. Payoff pitch. Now one's going to be hit towards first for a foul ball. Staying alive is Binger. So 3 innings pitch from Garrett Peak, 3 innings pitch from Logan Barnett. And we'll see how far. Now it's in there for a ball. Does Drew Faintage get as he walks his first 2 batters?
That'll bring up number 5.
Definitely a lot of speed on the base pass and a lot of speed at the plate. So as long as they can put the ball in play, these guys have a chance to make something happen.
And there's going to already be me on the mound.
Doesn't seem to be anyone throwing the Locos pen yet. Could be seeing someone getting up and stretching, moving around out there.
Coach Chad Ernsberger is probably just trying to settle his new pitcher down. Luckily for the Locos, they have a lot of cushion in this ball game. Up by 7 runs. Scores 11-4 here on the top of the 7th. Scouts have been struggling at the plate. Only 4 hits in this contest, but a couple of runners on. One in scoring position. Runners on first and second. Back-to-back walks to Miles Wright and Christian Binger. And after that, me at the mound. We're going to resume some baseball here as it's going to send Kevin Merrill to the plate. Merrill last time was thrown out at second on that 7-5-4-3 play as the left fielder was cut off by the third baseman, who threw it to the second baseman, who tagged him out after he slid past the base. And that's the first pitch, and that one's low in the dirt for a ball. Merrill would have been safe trying to extend that single, but he slid off the bag, unable to hold on. It was a big out there in the top of the 5th inning. Low as well. Count is now 2-0. As Drew Faintage is still trying to find his rhythm. Let's watch Miles Wright and Christian Binger on bases already. Here's the pitch. And there for a strike.
Was it 1-2?
Yep.
2-1.
2-1.
2-1 count. And here's the pitch to Merrill. And that one's a little high for a ball, so Drew Faintage is 1 pitch away from walking the bases loaded. I wonder if Kevin Merrill's going to be taking here. Now it's in there for a strike, and that's going to make it a full count. Central Florida versus South Florida battle right now between Drew Faintage and Kevin Merrill. Runners on first and second. Scouts down 11-4. No outs here on the top of the 7th. And he gets him swinging. And down goes Kevin Merrill.
And that one looked to be a little inside, so that probably would have been ball 4.
I think you're right. Worked all the way back to the 3-2 count. Good work from Faintage there.
Didn't text me back after he had 6.
And here comes Kyle Carnahan. That was in there for a strike. Kyle, last 2 times has walked. Struck out in the first inning, so he's 0-for-1 in this ballgame. He's been on the last 2 times. A 1 count here. If runners on first and second, 1 out. That one's outside for a ball.
Feels like the old Simmons field.
Scouts down 11-4. Needs to runs here in the top of the 7th. That's the pitch. And there on the outside corner for a strike. Now it's 1-2.
How many strikeouts did Locos pitching have last time?
1-2 pitch. Got some swinging. Down goes Carnahan for a second strikeout of the day. And that's a 9 strikeout total for the Locos. That's going to bring up David Gaunt, who's 1 for 2. Flew out short last time, hit one way, way, way high in the sky. Also walked in the second inning, was able to score. stole a base and balked to get to third before he was able to be hit him by Johnny Bravo. And then a 3-run home run. And the top of the third inning has been gone today as he takes that first one inside for a ball.
That's just Andy. There he goes.
Faintish walked the first 2 batters on, settled down Sense. Struck out the last 2 as he gets Gaunt swinging right there. Evens the count up at 1 apiece. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning.
I mean, the number of, they said it was a huge amount of, well, they signed up.
Throws, and there for a strike, counts 1 and 2.
You tell Chad to put in.
1 strike away from getting out of danger is Drew Faintish. As he gets his pitch, looks off. Fires it in, and he gets him looking. And down goes the Scouts in the top of the 7th. That's 3 straight strikeouts from Drew Faintish. As David Gahn can do nothing but look at that one blow by him.
And the Scouts had their chances. They had the first 2 batters in Miles Wright and Christian Bringer walk, and then 3 straight strikeouts. Not even many swings from your Xenia Scouts. So if you're not swinging that much, you're not going to be able to, get runs.
No, it's been a rough outing for the Scouts this their first rough outing of the season. They won their first 2 games. Looked very solid in both of them against the Lake Erie Monarchs. And I think we have a substitution out there.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have Zach Wiley over at first in place of Wyatt Hogan. So I would think that Zach will now lead off the next inning.
I think so as well. And Zach Wiley, usually a catcher from Union University. Also from Union is Austin Orr. So Wyatt Hogan, after getting that amazing diving catch to end the last inning, is taken out. And Zach Wiley will start off the top of the 8th inning, most likely.
So I would have to now think that since Wiley came into play first, looks like they're going to give Lincoln Reed the entire day off.
I think you're right, and that's something we talked about in the pregame, Lance, is we thought that at some point in the game, Lincoln Reed might be put in, but this was the perfect spot for it as well, but they're going with Zach Wiley instead. Also, for 11-4 score, you might be thinking Coach Bubba Case is just trying some new things out. He's got some room to do it here in this 7-run deficit.
Yeah, you have to think that he knows for the most part what he's going to get from Lincoln Reed, both at the plate and over at first base. So first time we've seen Zach Wiley on the field in a position that's not catcher, so we could see how he plays over there.
Will Kilgore is going to start off the inning here for the Locos. He's going to take that one to left field. So 1 pitch and 1 hit here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Locos. Kilgore having a dynamite day. He started off with a home run in the first inning, got on with an error, and scored on some couple wild pitches in the third. Had a strikeout and grounded it short, and now a single here in the bottom of the 7th. And that's going to bring up Brett Murray. And here comes Nick's pitch. Got him swinging. Off-speed pitch from Nick Street as Brett Murray guessing. Counts now 0-1 with a runner on first and no outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 11-4 Locos. Now it drops in for a strike as well. Nick Street finessing his way past Brett Murray. Murray's 2 for 3. He flew out to center last time. He had that 3-run jack earlier in this game. That was in the third. That really blew this one open, making it 9-4. A couple insurance runs will be later added in the 6th inning. That was the point where this one kind of got away from the Scouts. Count is now 1-2. Here comes Nick's pitch. Low for a ball. Count is now 2-2. Will Kilgore from Georgia State over there at first base after that single to start the inning.
1 year. Still waiting for somebody to propose.
Oh.
You have to be somebody crazy like
And
that.
here's the 2-2. That one's well inside. We're full now. 3-2 is your count.
Danny Jones, he could, you know.
Yeah, he's potential. He
I
can do
could
it.
see that.
I could see Danny Jones somewhere. Is he coaching the Express this year?
And a 3-2. And outside, and he's going to walk him. Brett Murray
Has he got a job this year?
walks for the second time this game. And that's going to send Kilgore over to second. Still no outs here for the
He's
Scouts.
in the DH right now.
As David Gaunt goes up to meet with Nick Street. And Lance, how much longer do you think they're going to keep Nick out there? You think there's going to be any action in the pen?
Well, right now it appears that there is going to be some action in the pen right now. I saw Wyatt Hogan going out there to let them know. So I would think it would be Ben Aldridge if they do decide to make the change. We're just going to look and see how long they're going to leave Nick out there.
And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Luke Reynolds. Luke came in last inning, the bottom of 6, pitch hitting to start off the inning, and got a single, went all the way around to score. Runs on first and second here. No
I
outs.
feel bad for this poor guy. It's like a rehab.
1-1. Here in the bottom of the 7th.
Getting in front of 725 people.
How many people have got here tonight, Steve? 600-700?
Here comes the 1-1. Now it's in the dirt.
Close.
Count is now 2-1.
It's close to 700.
725 official.
Yeah. Numbers.
Oh, hell, that would be 1,700.
Exactly. Exactly.
They said they averaged like 1,300.
Scouts down 11-4. 2-1 pitch. In the dirt again. Count is 3-1.
You go down there, there's about 500 people.
Nick walked the last batter. Brett Murray standing over there
So they're announced at 13.
on first after getting walked on a 3-2 count. 3-1 here to Luke Reynolds. Trying to get on for a second time this ball game. Runners on first and second. Street looks towards second, and he throws. And that one's low for a ball, so the bases will be loaded with no outs. Scouts in a dangerous spot yet again. So bases loaded for Cole Gordon, who singled last time he was up.
Their pitching is not very impressive.
No, hasn't been, has it?
Gordon's 1 for 2. A single. He's also hit by a pitch earlier. Now he's in the dirt. They're going to send the runner home, and they're safe. Will be Will Kilgore. So Will Kilgore turns that single. Start off the bottom of the 7th, and he gets all the way home on that wild pitch. Been a plethora of wild pitches in this game for the Scouts. David Gaunt has been really worked back there behind the plate. That time the Locos were able to score a run, and the score is now 12-4.
And what was one of the things we highlighted in the pregame if the Scouts were going to win? It would be great pitching. Haven't seen much great pitching here today.
And that was another one low for a ball. Cole Gordon still up there. 2-0 now for Gordon. Gaunt's going to talk of Street. And you got to remember, Nick Street is still rehabbing that torn labrum. He told us himself that he wasn't 100% yet. And looks like Coach Bubba Cates is going to come out here. We might have seen the last of Nick Street on Tuesday against the Spikes. He took himself out because he knew he was feeling hurt. I think Street wants to keep himself in him. Some again from the body language conversation between him and manager Coach Cates, and he will stay in the game. 12-4 is your score. 13 hits in this ball game for the Locos.
Locos have 1. There's your official tally. You're not wrong. They have 6 wild pitches.
So Terry, what do you think of the idea of leaving Nick Street in, even though he's been struggling this entire inning?
I don't know if I like it that much, Lance. I think guy coming off of injury, you might want to rest him, but got confidence in his pitcher. That ball is low. Now it's 3-0. I don't even know if the question of results or not right now. I think they're just trying to work Nick back into pitching in regulation games, but I think you've seen his action. It might be time to sit him soon. That one's in there for a strike. Count is now 3-1. Here to Cole Gordon. Looks like he's going to be taking on this one as well. Runners on second and third. No outs here. 12-4 Locos in the bottom of the seventh. And you got that outside corner. And Nick Street works his way back to 3-2. Full count here to Cole Gordon, the first baseman from Mississippi State. And that one's going to be low for a ball. So 3 straight walks for Nick Street. Walking the bases loaded. Also had a wild pitch that scored Will Kilgore. That might be the last.
No, Coach Gates is going to pull the trigger. So I would think it's Ben coming in, but I can't see who's coming in from the bullpen quite yet.
So
Is that Lincoln?
I believe it is, Lance. I believe
Well,
catcher Lincoln Reed is coming in for
did
relief.
not see this coming.
Well, we mentioned, Lance, the Scouts are short on pitching due to some injuries that were suffered right before the season. We haven't seen Lincoln Reed yet this game. We're wondering why. And now
That would explain why they didn't put him in the
I
game.
think so. I think they wanted him just in case that we needed a reliever. And I don't know how much experience Lincoln Reed has at pitching. I believe he's been
It's Lincoln Reed. He's going up.
catcher at Taylor University. He used to go to
He can throw hard, I can tell you that
Yeah, he
much.
can throw hard. He has a gun from behind the plate. Thank you from Cincinnati, Ohio. Went to Hillsdale, transferred to Taylor.
Yes.
A third-year scout.
Oh, okay, way down at bottom.
He's a position player.
Okay, Lincoln Reed. Gotcha.
So we know he can throw hard. We don't know how much he has in terms of breaking stuff or any other types of pitches. So we'll have to see if this is just saving the bullpen or if Lincoln can't actually pitch well.
It could be a little bit of both, Lance. Now in what seems like
This one will be a breaking warm-up.
a laugher at
It's
this
a decent
point.
curveball.
Yeah. I mean, why not? You're down 12-4. You got nobody out with the bases loaded. You might as well see what you can do.
This was something we thought we might see on Tuesday in the exhibition game when we knew they were short on pitchers. So, like we said earlier, the bullpen was going to be taxed today when you pull Seth Hallmark after 2/3 and 1/3 of an inning. So, bringing Lincoln in, might as well see what happens. Like you mentioned, trailing 12-4, hasn't played so far today. Might as well see what we can have happen.
Yeah, I mean, what's it going to hurt at this point, Lance?
Lincoln Reed.
Well, Lincoln's ERA could go in the toilet.
Well, you're right. I'm not sure if he's really concerned about that. I think he's more concerned with his batting average. And that first one's a little high for a ball. He does have some zip on the ball.
I hope he's a little more concerned with his batting average.
Now it's now 1-0. Remember, bases are loaded. Brett Murray, Luke Reynolds, and Cole Gordon on the bags for the Locos. Now it's now 2-0. That one misses low for Lincoln Reed, seeing his first pitching action. I know this season. I wanted to ask him later. It was for his career. 2-0 pitch. Gets him swinging. Now it's now 2-1. As Billy Lipari was behind on that one. Lipari is 0 for 3 in this game. Walked last time.
Looks good, though.
Now it's going to be hit towards third. Current hands going to step on third base. Throw over to first. And it's going to be an error.
And I'll tell you exactly why that happened. We don't think Zach Wiley has much experience over at first. Wasn't able to scoop that one up. It wasn't a perfect throw from Carnahan, but you got to think a typical first baseman can probably make that play.
Given the error to Carnahan, I agree with you, Lance. I thought that was more of a play that Wiley was supposed to make, but Nonetheless,
Number 22.
that's going to make the score 14-4. Excuse me, 13-4. Runners on second and third now after the error. Coming now for the Locos will be Henry Rollin, who singled an RBI last time. So runner did get out at third base though. Carnahan made a heads-up play to step on the bag. That was Luke Reynolds who was out at third. But coming on the score is Brett Murray. That's in there for a strike. And Brett Murray's score puts the score at 13-4. 1-2 count here for Lincoln Reed.
It's 13, right?
Now one's going to be fouled back behind us. Count stays 1-2 with runners on second and third. 13-4 Locos. With one out. Now bottom of the seventh inning. I think Lance, the Scouts are just trying to get through this one. Trying to keep their bullpen as healthy as possible. Got some tired arms there. Now one's going to go to the backstop. David Gone's going to go grab it.
He was an all-star last year in the league.
And
Yeah. This is his third year with the Scouts. The first one?
2-2 count now for Lincoln Reed.
So, yeah, going back to what you were saying, I think this inning is going to be Lincoln's to finish basically no matter what. I think as long as he can go, they're going to keep him in there because with a 9-run deficit, you got to be thinking just saving your bullpen's arms.
And now it's going to be foul backwards. Henry Rawling continuing to work Lincoln Reed here. Getting his pitch count up. Did not expect to say that coming to this broadcast, Lance.
Definitely didn't. We knew once we got the starting lineup, we saw, well, okay, Lincoln struggled yesterday. That might be why they didn't have him in. But then after the game went on, you kind of realized that this game was going to get out of hand quickly after that big third inning. So then they thought, well, Lincoln has a good arm. Let's see how he can do from the mound.
And that's a ball inside for Lincoln. Count is now 3-2. Yeah, one of those Zach Wiley that went in there at first and sent Lincoln, and we both knew something was awry, but we were both unaware that that's when Lincoln coming in for relief pitching. Full count here.
Because I don't know this for sure, but I don't think that's the glove Zach Wiley's using at first is his.
And that's going to be a strikeout for Lincoln Reed. He gets Henry Rollins. That's the first time Henry Rollins has gone down with a strikeout. So Lincoln Reed shows that he does have some stuff out there.
We haven't seen too many of those breaking pitches. I think he's just trying to make sure he can get through this inning.
So two batters face so far for Lincoln Reed. Here comes the third one. That one's going to be a hit towards left field, but drifting foul. Grant Williams at the plate now. Last time got on with an RBI fielder's choice. For those of you still watching the webcam stream, it's very dark. We know we're going to try to give you our play-by-play account, give you the best description of the action. And that one's hit towards center field. So will Gilcrease get to it in time? He will not. He dies, but he's going to fall short. Going to second. Now it's going to be air. So 2 runs on the double from Grant Williams.
2 RBIs, 15-4.
So 15-4 is your score. A 2 RBI double for Grant Williams, who now has 3 RBIs in the game on 2 at-bats. And now we're going to have another substitution as Tyler Beckwith is taken out of the game for Colin Stolley from Ohio Wesleyan University, a local product from Lima.
I think we're all LCC kids right over here. Huh?
Maybe they know. They do know. That's what I'm saying. They could show them some more love.
And here comes the pitch. So Colin Stolley hits it towards center. And it's going to be put away. So That's going to end a very interesting bottom of the 7th inning. And after 7 innings of play, it's not looking good for the Scouts, Lance, as the score is 15-4.
Yeah, definitely not the best outing from the Scouts. Combination of things, I think, went into this. Number one, having the first 2 games of the season back to back to back. These guys aren't used to playing every day. So after getting the nice win on Thursday and then gutting out a win yesterday and then coming back from Flat Rock, Michigan, long bus trip, longest trip that we'll have this season. So you got to think that that's playing a role too, because I know we didn't get home until right around 1:30, and we were the closest house to our complex over at Athletes in Action in Xenia, Ohio. So if that's the earliest we got home, you got to think the earliest most of our teammates got home was right around 1:45-ish. So if you're getting to bed late, you're going to not have a chance to be as energized as you want to be the next coming day. So I think those couple things are definitely playing a role in what is happening on the field right now.
And we got a couple substitutions in play right now for the Locos, as Cole Gordon is going to move from first base to pitcher, a 6'6" first baseman from Mississippi State. And now at first will be Luke Reynolds. Luke Reynolds, who was DHing, now over there at first.
I'll try to get the number. Who's pitching? 19.
19's first baseman. Yeah. I think it's 18.
So Cole Gordon coming in to pitch.
I'm looking at the back when he turns.
And going all the way back to the top of the 7th inning, we saw Zach Wiley come in for Wyatt Hogan. And yes, Zach will be in to hit for him after he replaced him in the field.
And so the other issue that presents is, like you mentioned, Wiley moved in, and now Lincoln's pitching, so no more defensive replacements unless they throw one of the pitchers in the field somewhere.
And here comes the pitch from Gordon. Inside for a ball. He's got a lot of heat on that one. I imagine he has a strong arm. Zach Wiley with his first at-bat of the day. Now it's also inside. Counts now 2-0.
This is 24th play. Zach Wiley.
Here comes the 2-0 to Wiley. Now it's going to be hit towards right field. And it's going to be put away. Good job putting that away by Henry Rawling. And 1 down for the Scouts here in the top of the 8th.
This will be our beer batter here in the 8th inning. Number 7, right fielder, Jonathan Bravo.
And Jonathan Bravo stepping out to the plate. 1 for 3 in this game. Has an RBI double. And he's going to line that one to left field. So the Scouts get a base runner on. Jonathan Bravo is now 2 for 4. Having a very good game.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Bravo's second hit of the game. Had the double earlier on in the game in the 2nd inning for an RBI. Flew out. No, he didn't fly out. He lined out earlier on in the game. Had a liner right at the second baseman. So good game today from Jonathan Bravo. Had been struggling early on.
Going to bring up Levi Gilcrease. That one's high for a ball from Cole Gordon, the first baseman turned pitcher.
You got a crew right over there. Just shoot a text over there. Get them to get on.
Gilcrease 0 for 2 in this game. Walked last time up. Bravo at first. Swing and a miss. Count is now 1-1.
Anthony, get a pizza chant started. We need a pizza chant. Hey, Ron. Oh, there you are.
1-1 count. That one's low for a ball. Gilchrist show bunt, pulled back.
You ready to go?
That is now 2-1.
2 strikes and 1.
Oh, this
Think
game.
Flapper's gonna
No,
go
2-1.
2-1.
Here comes the pitch, and it is low again. Gilcrease trying to get his second walk in a row.
I was going to get the chair out of your way.
Cole Gordon just gave up a single to Jonathan Bravo. 3-1 here. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. That one's high, and he does walk Levi Gilcrease. Gilcrease is on with a walk for his second straight at bat. He's going to send Jonathan Bravo over to second. And the Scouts have 2 on here in the top of the 8th with 1 out, down by 11. Your score is 15-4. That's going to bring up Austin Orr. He's 0 for 3 in this one. Low at the left last time. First pitch in the dirt, and that's going to advance both runners. And that wild pitch is going to send Jonathan to third and Levi to second. So 2 runners in scoring position. 1-0 count to Austin Orr.
Jumbo Diaz has got 2 outs and walk 2 guys.
1 out here for the Scouts. Cole Gordon trying to close this out. And in there for a strike. Evens up the count. And 1-1.
He loves these kind of games.
1 pitch. Swung on and missed
One more.
from Austin Orr.
Pizza, pizza, pizza. I can't believe that chance for pizza.
Here he comes the 1-2.
There
And he gets him swinging. And as you can hear, that's the 11th strikeout of the night for the Lima Locos.
Westgate Lane.
And down goes Orr. He's 0 for 4 in this game. That's going to bring up Miles Wright. Miles has gone on his last 2 times. Last time for Walker, time before, he was hit by a pitch. Runner still in second and third. And he's going to hit that one towards first. And a diving catch over there from Luke Reynolds, who came in the first for the first time this inning. And that's going to quiet the Scouts. So we're going to go towards the bottom of the 8th. Locos 15, Scouts 4.
It looks like for the Scouts, it'll be the same guys in the field, and it'll be Lincoln on the hill for another inning.
Like we mentioned, Lance, I think they're just trying to preserve their pitchers. Might throw Ben Aldridge there in the 9th inning. I think this is definitely Lincoln's inning. No matter what, they're going to have him try to finish it out. No other substitutions we can see out there in the field. Just been one of those games for the Scouts. They play the Locos again tomorrow at 4:05. We'll be at Grady's Field. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook for updates for that game. You can also watch the live stream on xeniascouts.com 3 hours earlier than all of our games have been so far this season on Sundays. The Scouts play at 4:05, 7:05 for all other games. And Monday, the Scouts will have off. Every Monday, the Scouts have off. And Lance, they can really use it.
Yeah, they're definitely going to use it. They're getting tired. You can just tell from the body language that these guys' heads aren't in this game right now, due to, of course, the score. So, and I have to think back to what I said last inning. I think they're going to keep Lincoln on the hill unless his arm is just gone, because I don't see any action out in the bullpen. So I would think this is Lincoln's game for the foreseeable future.
And coming up to the plate for the Lima Locos will be Mitch Carriger. First pitch is in there for a ball. Carriger lined out to second last time, excuse me. Christian Binger making a nice play. And that one's hit up the middle. And nice catch by Levi Gilcrease. And Nate Romans is coming up. Nate Romans started at center field yesterday. He went 0 for 4 against the Mariners.
Nate Romans.
He's from Ohio State.
I go to Ohio State.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And first pitch is in there for a ball, but quickly 2 down here for the Locos in the bottom of the 8th. Lincoln Reed making quick work. Now on the tie.
I've never seen people this fall before when they got a free pizza.
That one's in there for a strike. Count us now 2-1. One out here for the Lima Locos in the bottom of the 8th. And that one's going to be hit to deep right field, but foul. That one might have been gone if it was a little more strained out.
I think you're right, Terry.
Must be cast in tomorrow. Ooh.
And that's a 2-2. And a little bit of movement on that one, Lance. Lincoln Reed showing he can drop the curve in there for a strikeout. And he catches Romans looking at that one.
Yeah, it was a great pitch there from Lincoln. Like I said, he hadn't been throwing any breaking balls. He threw a few in warm-ups, but hadn't been throwing them to any of the batters. So the first time he tries one, he gets a strikeout.
Now it's with foul backwards as Brett Murray comes up to the plate. He walked last time and came all the way home to score.
I guess the lights are stronger.
Yeah. First time I've ever seen shadows at the batter's box.
2 outs here now. It's going to be hit towards left field. Miles Rice tracking it down and making the play. So Lincoln Reed quickly gets out of the inning. And we're going to go to the top of the 9th here. Locos up 15-4. Scouts need a miracle, Lance.
Yeah, it's absolutely right down. 15-4 heading into the top half of the 9th. They will, however, have the top of their lineup up. They'll have Christian Binger, Kevin Merrill, and Kyle Carnahan.
And Cole Gordon staying in the game for the Locos. Didn't give up a run last inning. Got in a little bit of trouble, but worked his way out. As you mentioned, Lance, coming up is the top of the lineup.
Should be top of the order.
The 5th time the Scouts have gone through the top of the lineup. They put 4 runs on the board. They got 5 runs in their first 2 wins of the season, but a lot better pitching performances in those first 2 games. 15 runs given up in this game for the Scouts.
Christian Binger to lead off for the Xenia Scouts in the top of the 9th.
Definitely not the kind of outing we thought we were going to have coming in today after winning our first 2 games of the year.
Now it's in there for a strike to Binger.
I don't know. I don't have anybody.
You're right, Lance. It's been a disappointing night, but it's a long season, 40 games. This is game number 3. That one's low for a ball. Count is now 1-1.
And one of the things that Lincoln had told us that he had learned through his years with this team, never get too high, never get too low. So as good as the first 2 wins are, can't dwell too much on the troubles that they've had today. They're going to have to take it and learn from it, but can't let it linger for too long.
Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be caught back. You're right, Lance. They come right back tomorrow, back in Xenia at Grady's Field, playing the same team. You got to get back on your horse, and can't let this game stay in the back of your head. Here comes the pitch, and that one is a little low for a ball. Count is now 3-1. Much to chagrin for the Lima faithful, is still pretty well represented.
They're up
right now.
11 runs.
And that's going to walk Christian Binger. And that's his 2nd walk of the ball game.
And you got to think it's hard to play baseball anyway, but it's harder to not try to force something when you're down with this deficit. You're going to want to try and swing so hard that you gain a bunch of runs back. So to stay passive and to wait for your pitch at the plate, it's a hard thing to do normally, but when you're down this deficit, it's even harder. So great at bat there from Christian.
Right, it was Lance, and you're going to try to pick off Christian at first, but Nothing doing. Kevin Merrill steps back inside. Struck out last time, and then he's going to foul that one back.
You know, like that Summit City, the team they play, they're in the same league as Summit City. Oh, yeah.
No outs here in the top of the ninth. Scouts down 15-4. Christian Binger on first. Kevin Merrill at the dish.
I love
I think it's the nicest one. Yeah.
I think it's pretty nice.
Oh, Columbus.
And that one curves back in for a strikeout. And that's going to seat Kevin Merrill, who got caught looking at that one. Back-to-back strikeouts against Kevin Merrill.
Number 16, Kyle Carnahan.
That's going to bring up Kyle Carnahan. Kyle's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but also 2 walks. Trying to get us bat on the ball here. Just that one backwards. Now it's now 0-1. Cole Gordon, the first baseman, now pitching, has been the last 2 innings. Looks very comfortable on the rubber.
Maybe he's done some pitching at Mississippi State.
I don't know if it missed state or it definitely looks like he's done it somewhere in his life because he's done a pretty good job so far. Low on that one, though. Count is 1-1. One pitch, and that one curves inside. Count is 2-1. Gordon winds and fires, and he gets Carnahan swinging. Count is now even at 2-2. The new lights here at Simmons Field in full force right now, illuminating the outfield. Comes the pitch. Now it's going to be fouled to the right. Carnahan, still staying alive. 2-2. The count remains. Christian Binger still standing over there at first base.
Logan Barnett would get the win, and Seth Hallmark would take the loss. Logan Barnett win. No save.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Here comes the pitch, and Binger's going. And he's going to be there easily. He steals second. Full count now at 3-2.
Lightning wins 4-3 over the Blackhawks.
Here's the pitch. And that one's just misses inside for a ball, and he walks Carnahan. Carnahan walked for the 3rd time this game. Second walk for Gordon. Excuse me, 3rd walk for Gordon total. Second walk this inning.
Tyler will be in charge.
Tyler will be back.
So runners on first and second. Binger on second, Carnahan on first, and here comes Gaunt. Behind on that one, count is now 0-1. 1 out here in the top of the 9th, 15-4 Locos over Scouts. One of the highlights of this game for the Scouts was David Gaunt's 3-run jack all the way back in the top of the 3rd as he goes down 0-2 now after swinging and missing in that one. And Scouts are actually up 4-3 going into the bottom of the 3rd, and it was all downhill from there, Lance.
Absolutely right. That big 3rd inning took every single ounce of life out of these Scouts.
And that one's low in the dirt. Count is now 1-2 to David Gaunt.
Yeah, they're all their everyday players are in.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that one's going to go high behind us. David Gaunt staying alive. Gaunt is 1 for 3 in this game. Also been walked. He scored, hit that 3-run home run, and flew out to short and struck out looking last time. Here's the 1-2. That one's low in the dirt. Counts now 2-2. Cole Gordon has walked both of these runners on base. Also has a strikeout as Kevin Merrill was caught looking earlier this inning. That's now the Scouts have got their 1 out so far. It's a 2-2 count. 15-4 is your score. You're on the top of the 9th. Scouts with their last breath. Now it's going to be fouled to the right. David stays alive. Game started at 7:05 and it's about 10:05 now. So it's a 3-hour game and counting.
That was with multiple long innings in that time span.
Including a 6-run burst from the Locals in the bottom of the third. That one's going to be fouled back as well. Also had a 4-run inning in the 7th.
1 out. I said, just bring it out, set it down there. Set it over.
10 runs between 2 innings for Locos. A couple runs here and there as far as this 15-4 score. 2-2 count to David Johnson. And here comes Gordon's pitch. And that one's hit way back. And he caught the wall, and he just robbed a home run. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's gone. Thought for a second that it was robbed in left field, and that's the second 3-run shot of the game for David Gaunt.
Yep, 2 home runs.
So 6 RBIs on the day for
6 RBIs.
David Gaunt, Lance.
Yeah, I could tell right off the bat that was gone. It was hit very well, of course, and it did look like it was caught for a second, but second home run of the game for Gaunt, and that's going to be the lone bright spot we have today.
Yeah, it was faked out by Nate Romans, trying to make it look like he caught the ball, but that one's gone, and it bounces back into the black abyss behind the left field wall. So 2 home runs on the day for David Gaunt. Big day for him.
So that means Dave will have driven in 6 of the 7 runs here today for the Scouts.
And then he scored the other one, Lance, as he was doubled in by Jonathan Bravo. And their first strike is Zach Wiley's up to the plate now. Counts 0-2 against him quickly from Cole Gordon. And that one's the ball. Counts now 2-2.
So the coupon is good for Monday night.
Here comes 1-2 pitch. Counts now 2-2.
Well, this is getting. They're getting
I think they're going to be coming after me.
Zach Wiley steps back in. Here comes Gordon's pitch outside, and Wiley works all the way back from 0-2 to a full count. Score is 15-7 now after David Gaunt's second 3-run home run shot of the game. And he gets Wiley looking. He can't believe the call, and that's going to send him back to the bench.
Couldn't believe the call because it was outside, very outside.
Yeah, he thought he was walking down the first base line, but he's walking back to the bench. And that's going to make Wiley 0-2 in this one. And 2 outs now. The Scouts are down to the last out. Jonathan Bravo comes to play and foul tips the first one. Now down 0-1. That'll be Gordon's 4th strikeout. And that one's in there for a ball. Like that is 3rd strikeout. There it comes. The pitch inside. Count is 2-1. Just missing the inside corner to Jonathan Bravo. Bravo is 2 for 4 in this one with a double and a single. Batted in a run. That one's high. Count is now 3-1.
That's all that matters in the end.
Scouts down to the last out. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. Now it's low, and Bravo's going to walk. So Jonathan Bravo is up for his 3rd time today on base.
That's number 6, Levi Gilcrease.
Now Levi Gilcrease is up to bat. He's walked his last 2 times. 0-2 with those 2 walks. Bravo over there at first. 15-7 is your score. Scouts down to the last out. And Bravo's going. The ball is low, and he's there easily. So Bravo steals second. The Scouts got a runner in scoring position. And a 1-0 count here. Levi Gilchrist from Baylor.
It's not 3 a.m. yet. So this game's not over.
And here comes the pitch. That one's outside corner for a strike. Levi watches out one go across the plate. Counts now 1-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't seem a lot longer. It's only 3 hours and 4 minutes.
That's an hour longer than the other night.
Comes the pitch. And there for a strike. Counts now 1-2, and the Scouts are down to their last strike.
They usually do about 3 hours. Northern's the same way.
D3 games are always that way.
You don't have a couple pitchers.
And here goes the 1-2. And he gets the swing, and that's going to do it. And your final score of... And that's going to do it for the game. So the Scouts lose 15-7. And a fitting way to end it as a 12th strikeout of the game for the Scouts. Levi Gilchrist goes down for his 3rd time of the game. And Lance, it was a high-scoring affair, that's for sure. 15-7, the final score. But a really disappointing performance from the Scouts. They had a few things to take away from this game.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. Number one, when they're starting pitching struggles, they're struggling. That's been the theme so far, is however the starters pitch, that's what continues on through the rest of the game. So you got to wonder if they can come back tomorrow when we assume that it will be Dylan starting for the Scouts. Just have to wait and see and make sure that's the case. But you just got to come back from this. It's, like you mentioned earlier, a 40-some game season. They're going to have to find a way, come back stronger tomorrow than they were today.
You're right. On one of the bright spots would have to be David Gaunt, who finished the game with 2 3-run shots, 6 RBIs total. Also scored a run early in the game, so he accounted for all 7 of the Scouts' runs. So an unbelievable game that's going to be kind of lost in the shuffle for David Gaunt. He's going to be here in a few minutes speaking with us in our post-game interview. But Lance, what do the Scouts have to do to put this game in the back of their memory and just look forward to the 4:05 first pitch tomorrow against this same Lima Locos team?
Well, they just gotta come out ablazing like they did in the opening game at Grady's Field. They were able to get 3 runs on the board early on, got them in that first inning. So if they can do the same kind of thing, I would think that's going to happen. So if they can start off strong, they'll keep going strong.
All right, David Gaunt will be joining us here in a few minutes. He's going to be taking over Lance's broadcast spot.
What? Take it over from me?
He has to, Lance.
Oh.
That's just the roll of the dice.
Well, that's a shame.
Some other notable Scouts in today's game. Great game from Jonathan Bravo. He finished 2 for 4, and he was on base 3 times. He got that walk there on the top of the ninth, stole a base. He batted in David Gaunt there in the top of the second. That was 1 run that wasn't batted in by Gaunt for the Scouts in this game. It was scored by Gaunt, but it was not batted in. Just a hard day for the Scouts pitching staff. Start off with Seth Hallmark, who only got 2 1/3 in before he was taken out. And you're going to need more healthy pitchers before the Scouts are going to be able to go deeper into their bullpen. They went to Thomas Wanning, who got about 3 innings pitch, and then Nick Street coming off of that labrum tear. He's still recovering. And then Lincoln Reed, catcher Lincoln Reed, a guy that
threw pretty well.
Started at first base. First 2 games of the season for the Scouts. Didn't start today. We were kind of shocked. Wonder what's going on with first base. Wyatt Hogan got the start. And then why Lincoln Reed didn't go into first base later when it was replaced with Zach Wiley,
who I don't think plays first base very often.
And we found our answer, Lance. We found it when Lincoln Reed went in to pitch, and he did pitch well. You have to think he has some sort of pitching background because he had a nice curve. He got a looking strikeout, finished the game with 2 strikeouts. So maybe that is an option for the Scouts later on in the season. It could be something like we saw with the Locos of Cole Gordon, who played at first all game until the 7th inning when he was placed in, and then comes in and finishes the game.
Yeah, you got to think that next time either Scouts are up big or they're trailing big, they're going to have to go to of position player, just preserve the bullpen depth, because especially with the not having very many pitchers anyway, because having some guys pitch the last few days, they're still resting, recovering, making sure their arms are A-okay. So you got to think that they're going to have some of these guys that are position players predominantly, but have pitched either in college or in high school. So there's guys that are pitchers that aren't actually pitchers. They know how to pitch. They just moved into a different role once they got into school, or they play multiple roles at school. So those are the kind of guys that teams look at, especially for these summer leagues, the guys that are flexible, that can move all over the diamond, whether it's infield, outfield, and then if you're a very good player, even more than that, you have the chance to be both a fielder and a pitcher.
Yeah, we saw that done to perfection from Cole Gordon in the Lima Locos. He actually came in the 8th inning and finished the game with 4 strikeouts. And that's not to mention with a pretty solid day at the plate for Cole Gordon, the first baseman from Mississippi State. Finished the game 1 for 3, but also got on with a walk and a hit by a pitch. So got on 3 of his 5 times. And then he came in and threw an inning and a half of 4-strike baseball, closing this one out for the Locos. Some other impressive performances for Lima tonight. You got to talk about Brett Murray and his 3-run blast that absolutely opened up this ball game. It was close, and then that bottom of the third just opened it up. The Scouts were actually 4-3, and then a 6-run bottom of the third inning. And Lance, the Scouts just never recovered from that.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. They didn't have enough in the tank to really recover from that. We mentioned all the other factors. This is their 3rd game in 3 days. Had a long travel yesterday to and from Flat Rock, Michigan to play the Lake Erie Monarchs, other things of that nature. It's a long season, so these guys have to be able to rest when they need to. So thought we were going to see a complete rest day from Lincoln Reed, but ended up coming in a big spot for us, preserving the bullpen. And I'm sure that those bullpen guys, even though the game didn't turn out the way they want to, that they are getting the necessary things they need so they can keep their arms healthy, because like we've mentioned multiple times, pitchers, we don't have a lot of depth at pitching.
No, they do not. Lance, who you think is going to get the start tomorrow in the rematch against the Locos at Grady's Field?
Well, for the Xenia Scouts, I think it'll be Dylan Donnelly. We haven't seen him pitch since that exhibition game, so all signs would point to it being Dylan. We thought it was going to be between him and Seth for the start tonight, and it ended up being Seth. So I would have to think it'll be Dylan out there on the hill tomorrow on Sunday versus the Lima Locos once again. And then I would think so far it'll be a 4-man rotation, and then we'll see Quentin Q. McGrath start on Tuesday.
I think you're right. I think it's definitely going to be Dylan Donnelly. But who are you thinking about in the bullpen? Ben Aldridge is definitely going to be the first guy up. Do we see possibly any other starters during maybe an inning of relief? At this point, with only 9 guys in the rotation, we saw Lincoln Reed can pitch. Does he get thrown into the rotation permanently, being that 10th guy, or what's going to happen with the pitching staff?
I would think, like you just said, I think if need be, that the first guy in relief will be Ben Aldridge. After that, I would think it'll be between Joe and Joey. Those guys pitched yesterday. I don't think he would want to go to any starters for an inning or so. Maybe that would be another situation. We see a position player pitch just to preserve the bullpen. So maybe you go to someone else just because you don't have much else to go to. We know Will woke up this morning. He said his arm was sore from pitching yesterday, so I doubt that they would throw him in for an inning. So I would think that they go with those few guys in the bullpen with Ben Aldridge, Joey, and Joe. So I think those are who we would go to in the bullpen if need be.
And I think you make a good point, Lance. Joe Chase only got an inning last night. Joey Levitt only 2 innings, so a couple of guys are going to be more rested. This one's going to take a toll on both Thomas Wanning and Nick Street. Is going to pitch a lot of baseball here today. And of course, Nicholas Street coming off of that labrum tear. It was his first competitive. You can definitely see some of the velocity was taken off some of his pitches. And he just didn't look healthy out there.
And yeah, Nick, like we said, he is coming off of surgery. We're trying to get him back into the pitching shape. So there's no really other way to have him pitch other than having him come into a game. There's not much time for practice, so you can't really do simulated games. So it's kind of just all or nothing with Nick Street at this point in the season, and maybe that changes as the year goes on. Maybe his arm recovers quicker than they thought it would. But otherwise, I'm not sure what more they can get from Nick Street going forward.
No, but looking towards the future, of course, the rematch tomorrow, 4:05 first pitch between the Scouts and the Locos. And then that big rest day on Monday, June 8th, that's going to be desperately needed to get some of these relief pitchers some regeneration time, make sure their arm gets back to full strength. And then as a 2-game series against the Settlers of Licking County. That's going to be on the road as well, Tuesday and Wednesday. Hopefully, Scouts have a full bullpen ready and roaring to go for those games because the Settlers, 3 straight league titles. They're already 3-0 this season. I haven't seen them score other game tonight as they're playing tonight. But they're a team that it's going to be really hard to play. So doesn't look like we're going to be able to get David gone for a post-game interview. So that's going to wrap us up here on one final time. Your final score, Scouts 7, Locos 15. We'll be on again tomorrow at 4:05. Everyone that's been listening, thank you for tuning in to our web stream. We'll be streaming all of Scouts games this season. And good night, and God bless.